Catch the spirit of the game, the Hastings Sidebusters.
Throwing strikes, being efficient with our pitches, making those routine plays, and having a great approach at the plate. So just keeping things simple and just building up that team chemistry as much as possible, I think, will help you win some games.
1-2. Swing and a miss as the Sodbusters strand the bases loaded to keep this a tie game.
This one is bounced back up the middle and into center field for a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Printer around third.
Our fans recognize that, and they know that it's a family atmosphere at our place, and that's what we like.
To the left side and through for a base hit. The go-ahead run scores as Jensen delivers once again.
This one, the lightest of light hits. He gets an RBI single.
I think it's just a great experience, getting kids from all over the country to come in and play together.
Catch the spirit of the game, the Hastings Sidebusters.
To steal a line from the OAHE dugout, the Hastings Sodbusters might well be called the Sogbusters, as rain has been a major factor the first week of the season. OAHE has had its share of rain too, though. After a postponement in Casper, the Zap are playing their second doubleheader of the young season. For Hastings, the Sodbusters 4-0 and turned to opening night starter Creighton Jacobitz to try to continue the streak. We've had intermittent showers during warm-ups, but hope to stay dry enough to get in 2 games tonight. It's Hastings and OAHE Independence League Baseball to close what was supposed to have been 7 nights in a row of ball. I'm Steve Stein. Mason Hendricks is our producer, along with Connor Christensen and Noah Pegel. When we come back, Ryan Valenta visits with returning player Tyler Welsh, who had a game-winning sacrifice fly in the Saturday win over Spearfish. That interview is coming your way next. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Another episode of the Sodbuster Spotlights with one of the mainstays of the Sodbuster program, back for his 3rd year, Tyler Welsh, the Tucson native and Hastings College guy, just finished up his 4th year at Hastings College and also had a pretty cool moment last week, recording the 2nd win of the season via a walk-off. Tyler, let's revisit that walk-off back last week. A sacrifice fly to the second baseman. One of the more unconventional walk-offs you had, but super cool to win the game like that. What was that like for you, and have you had many moments like that in your baseball career?
I've had a couple walk-offs throughout my career. Nothing like that, though. Most of the other ones I've had have been a little more, I don't know. That one was crazy because when I initially hit it, I didn't think I was going to get it in. I was kind of like, oh, crap. But once I saw him going further and further out in the right field, and then once I saw him slip and fall, I kind of knew that we were going to score a run there.
Very cool. Well, you just finished up your 4th year at Hastings College, so you are a graduated man. What'd you get your degree in, and what's your plan now that you are a graduated guy?
I got my degree in community health and wellness, but I think I'm going to plan on getting my real estate license this summer and then going back home and figuring that field out and doing that for a while.
All right. Well, since you graduated, there is absolutely no obligation for you to come and get back experience for another time since you're pretty much done with baseball. What motivated you to come back for year number 3 with the Sodbusters, and what are you hoping to accomplish this summer?
I mean, I just want to have fun out here, honestly, with all the guys, and baseball has been a part of my life, my whole life, so it's a hard thing to step away from, and Sodbusters has been a good experience for me, so I wanted to come back.
Well, now that it's your 3rd year and in process of your 3rd year, last year team broke a lot of records. The first year maybe not so many. What was your favorite Sodbuster memory, if you can think of one?
I don't know if I really have one exact favorite memory. I mean, I don't know. Just the road trips, playing. I don't know. I mean, you don't really remember the games as much. You just remember being around the guys.
Well, how about those guys? You've seen a lot of teammates come and go throughout the years. Any names that stand out that were maybe part of last year's team or the team before that you got to know really well that you maybe didn't know before, and you would call an acquaintance going forward?
I mean, I would say James Velasquez. I mean, I went to school with him. And then there's a couple guys that went to Arkansas Tech, and then Coach Printer, I became pretty close with him. We played together for 2 years, and yeah, there's quite a few guys I got close with.
All right, well, that's another good point that you bring up, too. We're talking with Tyler Welsh, one of the journeyman Hastings Sodbusters, playing for the third different head coach in your Sodbuster tenure. First, Coach Skipper, then last year, Coach Danny, who actually got to play with at Hastings College, and now you got to do it with another one of the guys that was just a player at the team. What has Coach Printer's leadership been like as of recent, and how do you feel he's prepared to lead this team into battle this summer?
I think he's fully prepared to take us to wherever we need to be. That dude is one of the smartest baseball IQ guys I've ever met, so I got full trust in him, and he's always got a game plan. He's always thinking, and there's always a reason he's doing something. So,
all right. Well, here at home is at Duncan Field, which you've also played spring ball at, but you get to go to quite a few places very far away here in summer ball. Do you have a favorite ballpark that was an away ballpark that you went to in your Sodbuster career?
I like the Zaps field. I mean, it's not a super nice field, but the scenery around it, and I kind of like the town around it. I like it. There's water around, and there's a creek behind, and I don't know. I think it's a cool field.
Awesome stuff. Tyler Welsh with the Hastings Sodbusters here. Final question. It's a long day of summer ball, and we had a rain-out day, so you got a day off. There's lots of stretches and games. You guys are going to be spending most of your time on the ball field, but when you're not at the ball field, what can we expect to find you and the guys doing as a hobby?
Well, I know quite a few of us just like to hang out and go fishing. I mean, kind of like yesterday when it was raining all day and pretty cold. I mean, we'll just play some video games, which isn't the best thing to be doing, but there ain't much else you can do when the weather's like that. And we'll do a little golfing as well, but that's about it.
All right, golfer, I've talked to a lot of guys, and a lot of guys are golfers on the team. In your opinion, past or present Sodbusters, who is the best golfer that you've ever played with?
Probably my former teammate at the college and here with the Sodbusters, James Velasquez. Kind of like I said before, he was a scratch golfer in high school, and I've golfed with him quite a few times, and he can swing it really well.
All right, well, we hope Tyler Welsh enjoys his final summers with the Sodbusters. We'll hear from more Sodbuster Spotlights as the season goes on. I'm Ryan Valenta. Thanks for tuning in.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Welcome back to Duncan Field as we get set to go with hopefully 2 games of baseball. The Hastings Sodbusters, the OAHE Zap. It's cleared off pretty well, knock on wood. Showers have been in and out of the region. Really felt bad for the Zap. It was raining as hard as it has been all day here in Hastings right during their batting practice, but they dried off and they're ready to go. And rain has been a steady theme for Hastings Sodbuster baseball, but they battled through that for 4 wins. Meanwhile, OAHE, they've had 2 rainouts in the early going, had a doubleheader at Casper early this year, and now they play their second doubleheader of the season. It's Steve Stein, it's Ryan Valenta. Just keep on keeping on, no matter what the day. You'd like to come out and find another way to continue that streak.
Yeah, hopefully the guys kept their muscles warm and their baseball skills fresh on the day off yesterday, but it's almost unfortunate that the Sodbusters have this weekend off. It's supposed to be beautiful weather, 81 and sunny tomorrow, lower 80s all day, or all weekend rather, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but Sodbusters, we were expecting to be here 7 days in a row. We got Monday off, got yesterday off too. I think too the forecast showed that it was supposed to be raining all afternoon. I mean, I live just a couple of streets down here from Duncan Field, and I felt like the rain didn't really come until the very end of the day, and might have been able to play yesterday, but probably due to the forecast, it was wise to cancel the game. But who doesn't love a good old double dip, Steve? We get to play 2 for the price of 1, of course, and the Sodbusters will look to stay perfect against the Zap, a team that they have had their number the entire year before this and this previous game where they limited the damage of the OAHE offense too. So looking to see if they can continue that, and hopefully the rain kept OAHE cooled off this evening.
Marcus Miller, the story of the first game of this series as he goes 7 2/3 innings, allows 2 runs on 5 hits, strikes out a career-high 10 while walking 2. Sodbusters got it done offensively as well, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, 5 runs in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th. OAHE had single runs in the 2nd and 4th before getting a couple of consolation runs in the 9th, 11-4. Sodbusters with the win after winning all 10 games against the Zap a year ago. Hastings Sodbusters looking for win number 5, and they will turn to their night 1 starter who was outstanding. As we take a look at the starting lineups before today's game between the Sodbusters and the Zap, it's Drew Vega playing second base and leading off. Luke Kazi in right field batting second. Batting third, the designated hitter Weston Johnston. Batting fourth is the first baseman Ryan Jarvis. It's Graham Hilton doing the catching and batting fifth. Batting sixth, Christian Loera at the shortstop position. Jet Hannaford plays left field and bats seventh. Chase Phillips in center field batting eighth. Jaden Shabry will bat ninth. He's the third baseman, and getting the start, the left-hander Creighton Jacobitz, Cloud County Community College grad now, still weighing his options for his 4-year college, but through 7 innings of no-hit ball in that night 1 win against Spearfish. Once again for Hastings, it's Vega, Causey, Johnston, Jarvis, Hilton, Loera, Hannaford, Phillips, Shabry, with Jacobitz on the mound. For OAHE, Andrew Phillips leads things off. He's the designated hitter. Gavin Frazier bats second. He's the shortstop. Quinn Ludvigson at first base batting third. Connor Goldberg, right fielder, batting fourth. It's Ty Farwell at third base batting fifth. Batting sixth, Mason Lang at catcher. Cole Ottersberg at second base batting seventh. Nick Golden, the left fielder, batting eighth. Emiliano Montillo is the center fielder and batting ninth, and it'll be Easton Pratt getting a start on the mound for OAHE. Once again for the Zap, Phillips, Frazier, Ludvigson, Goldberg, Farwell, Lang, Ottersberg, Golden, Montillo, with Pratt on the mound. This game by the numbers, Hastings coming in, a .301 team batting average. They do have a home run, 2 triples, and a double. 17 for 20 in stolen bases. They've done a lot of things well here in the early going. And from a pitching standpoint, ERA of 3.5, 35 strikeouts, 24 walks, and 10 hit batsmen. OAHE 1-3 on the year. Their team batting average about 100 points lower than Hastings. They're at 207. Do not have a home run. They do have 6 doubles this year. They're only 1 for 1 in stolen bases. So the Sodbusters have stolen 16 more bases in the first 4 games of the year. And the team ERA at 3.86 as they kicked it around a little bit, gave up a lot of runs, but their team ERA actually goes down to 3.86. And 21 strikeouts, 15 walks. Both teams have had pitching staffs which have hit way too many. OAHE has hit 8. The Sodbuster pitching staff has hit 10. Remember, Spearfish, they hit about 10 too. So we've seen an inordinate amount of hit batsmen, Ryan Valenta.
It's completely unintentional at this level, as we've talked about so many times. You know, it's never fun to get hit, but a lot of these guys are pitching for the first time maybe since they didn't get to pitch at their spring colleges, or they only got a couple of appearances, or they were everyday field players but want to fine-tune their arms on the mound. So yes, lots of hit batsmen. to your point about OAHE giving up 11 runs and their ERA dropping, well, that was because only 2 of those runs back on Tuesday were earned. They did give up those runs, but the OAHE defense did not help them out whatsoever. 5 errors in that ball game helped get those Hastings 11 runs. But the Zap, they've got some guys on the team. They've got some Division I products and prospects that are on the team this year. And OAHE's kind of been the team that has struggled of the everyday teams, if you will. For example, for us, Casper, the other teams that play pretty much every day, Spearfish and Fremont, they're kind of been lower on the order. But OAHE showed that they have offense because they beat the defending ILB champions, the Casper Spuds, 15-8 on opening night. So they can do it. It's just piecing together a whole game. Another stat I want to bring up too for Hastings, obviously the only undefeated team remaining that has played in all 4 games in the Independence League so far. The prospects are 1-0, but a travel-only team. Sodbusters is the only team with a positive run differential. Not only that, it's a plus 15, so they've outscored their opponents by 15 in those 4 games, and everybody else with a negative run differential. Even the Casper Spuds, who are 2-2, they've been outscored by 4 runs in those games. So the Sodbusters, it's not just been great pitching and okay hitting, or great hitting and okay pitching. They've been able to piece together both parts of the baseball too, which is something that we've gotten accustomed to seeing, especially last year. The guys were very good, usually on one side of the ball, maybe 2 sides of the ball, but very early returns. They have been playing very excellent baseball on both sides of it in this season.
And they found a way to win different kinds of games. I mean, the first game was probably the most entertaining contest when Sodbusters came out and just kind of mowed him down. Ended up winning 5-1, a very baseball-like game. Then we played through the rain in game number 2, and the Sodbusters won that wacky contest where they really did struggle offensively, but manufactured enough runs to win. They came out, got the offense cranking in game 3, and kind of held on for dear life when they got a little bit deeper in their pitching staff. And kind of similar in the OAHE matchup, it never got as close as the Spearfish 12-9 game did, but took a comfortable lead, able to get another dude in there late, and the Sodbusters ended up winning that contest by a score of 11-4, out-hitting OAHE 11-6. In the first game of the series. And I know Josh Printer hates when we talk about it. You've already mentioned the fact that the starter's gone 5 innings at least in every game. He said, why'd you have to say that? I'll also say, playing pretty darn good defense and a variety of guys. That's been the neat thing. You've seen 2 good shortstops. You've seen 2 good third basemen. What has been 3 different second basemen. The outfield has shown a variety of depth. And so it's going to be kind of fun to see where guys plug in if there is an everyday lineup, but even these 2 games, the doubleheaders, there's going to be 4 different players in the starting lineup in game number 2, and they can play a variety of positions.
Yeah, those guys too, they, like you mentioned, they can pretty much be slotted in anywhere. Drew Vega, for example, he's starting today at second base, but in game number 2, he's probably going to get to go out to center field. And Ryan Jarvis, a first baseman by trade, but can play the outfield. Got some catchers that do play the infield and outfield as well, so it's just about the next guy up mentality. Of course, it's all about getting experience in summer ball, but that these guys are willing to sacrifice their everyday positions and just go around somewhere else to help out the good of the team is the best part about it, in my opinion. But Creighton Jacobitz on the mound for the Sodbusters today will be the key and look to continue, like you mentioned, Steve, that at least 5-inning streak for starters in the 5th consecutive game.
Creighton Jacobitz is on the mound, taking his warm-up tosses. 7 innings pitched in the opener, no runs, no hits, struck out 9, walked 3, hit 3, 101 pitches in his opener. Defensively, it's Graham Hilton behind the plate, Ryan Jarvis at first base, Drew Vega at second, third base, Jaden Shabry, the shortstop is Christian Loera, and the outfield left to right, Jet Hannaford, Chase Phillips, and Luke Causey. As we get set to go, the Sodbusters in their black jerseys today. They're 1-0 in that combo with the yellow numbers, white pants, and OAHE. Good-looking uni combo. We did not see this uniform a year ago, but they have had it in their arsenal. Black shirts with kind of neon yellow numbers and blue sleeves. For old guys like me, tremendous numbers to read, and Andrew Phillips steps in, a lefty-lefty matchup. Here to begin the game, Jacobitz. The first pitch is just a little bit outside as we hit 5:30 exactly. You talk about running it to a T. The pregame starts, and it is an exact 5:30 start time, and what was supposed to be a 5:30 game. Andrew Phillips fouls the fit pitch away, and will count 1 ball and 1 strike on the DH for OAHE. He was 222 on the year, 2 for 9, 2 runs batted in, 3 runs scored. He went 0 for 3 against Hastings in the series opener. Does have a multi-hit game to his credit. First game against Casper, 2 for 3 in that 15-8 victory. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch. Bouncing ball right back to Creighton Jacobitz, no problem. Holds the ball up, tosses it underhand to Jarvis, and Andrew Phillips, the first out here of game number 1 of the doubleheader at Duncan Field.
Well, that was a lot better start than what we saw in the opening game for Creighton Jacobitz, who walked the first batter on 4 pitches. He gets the first batter of the game to softly tap out to the pitcher, and also notice a new feature on our stream as well. For the first time in Sodbuster history, we've got an outfield cam, so we're going to be switching in between that and the camera that is our normal one right here next to us in the press box today.
Gavin Frazier fouls the first pitch away. Frazier really struggled against the Sodbusters, 0 for 5 in the series opener. He's 3 for 11 on the year, 273. Does have a double, an RBI, and 5 runs scored. He had a multi-hit game in the third game of the series against Casper. The second game of that twin bill had a double, 2 for 3, and a run scored as he pounds this one foul. Gavin Frazier down to the count, no balls and 2 strikes. We really are blessed with increasing camera angles here on our YouTube broadcast. Here's the pitch. But we also have people maybe listening in while they're driving. So we still do kind of a radio play-by-play feel, even though it is a television broadcast. So I know back when I drove FedEx, I'd listen in and have a chance to kind of tune in, even though I couldn't see the pictures. Bouncing ball to the right side. This is going to be fielded by Vega. Tosses over Jarvis, 2 ground ball outs, and a good play for Drew Vega to get it to Jarvis for the second out of this first inning.
Nifty little exchange by Vega there. Frazier busting it down the line pretty well. Just a shovel pass, like a quarterback to the running back in a football game, but Vega able to make the play. 2 weak groundouts to start off the game.
Here's Quinn Ludvigsen, a Minnesota State product, off to a 2 for 9 start, 222, went 0 for 2 with a run scored, and was involved in a really scary moment at first base, a collision with the Sodbusters. The pitch is taken for a strike, but got up, and apparently no worse for the wear. Good to see him in uniform today. He is the speedster on the team, or at least that's the early returns. He has the only stolen base on the team, but he gets hit with a pitch high and tight. So Ludvigsen, we'll see if they turn him loose. I'd say it's an odd stat here. The Sodbusters have outstolen OAHE 17-1 the first 4 games of the year.
Yeah, he's also might be the ball magnet of the team. Ludvigsen gets hit there, and Sodbusters are plunking him with baseballs. They're having guys run into him. Rough series for Quinn.
He leads away from first, and the first pitch now to Connor Goldsberg goes a little bit low for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Goldberg, I should say, no S there. Goldberg is his name. Lefty-righty matchup, and the pitch across for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on Connor Goldberg. Goldberg, 400 on the year. Both of his hits coming against the Hastings Sodbusters. 2 for 3, a double, 2 runs batted in the series opener as the pitch is outside for a ball. As Connor Goldberg trying to keep this inning going. Ludvigsen hit by a pitch with 2 outs. No score, top half of inning number 1 as we bring you Sodbuster baseball, the first of 2 games, a pair of 7-inning games here today. 2-1 delivery, blew it by him, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Goldberg. Goldberg, a pretty good day against Marcus Miller as they had a couple of multi-hit games against Miller. 2 multi-hit games, and they ended up with only 6 hits on the day. 2-2 pitch. Sprayed foul. It remains 2 balls and 2 strikes on Goldberg. 4th batter of the ball game. The Zap coming in at 1-3. They won their season opener, have dropped 3 straight. Sodbusters now at 4-0. Casper at 2-2. Fremont 1-2. Spearfish 2-4. OAHE 1-3 of the 5 teams which play everyday baseball in the Independence League. As the pitch outside for a ball, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The only other team, the travel team's been in action. Nebraska Prospects, they're 1-0, with the Bison and Plainsmen to play select games on the road later on this year. Big lead, the 3-2 pitch, and it is going to be fouled away as there's 3-2, 2 outs. They just elected to have Ludvigsen turn him loose and let him go to have a better chance to field a grounder if it was hit sharply to first. So it remains 3 balls and 2 strikes, and the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming to Connor Goldberg.
Looks like he's been sitting something off speed, as Goldberg's been late on a lot of these. Jacobitz, good velo on his fastball so far, 81 and 82. Also mixing up that curveball and changeup in there as well. 3-2 counts. I'd like to see him just blow him away with the heater right here.
Ludvigsen gets his walking lead, takes off, and the pitch is going to be low. So a hit batsman and a walk after 2 are out, and Ty Farwell will try to keep this inning going. Tall, left-handed hitter for the OAHE Zap.
Yeah, that was the only thing that really plagued Creighton in his first opener. Yeah, he threw 7 hitless innings, but he hit 3 batters and walked 3. All of them were pretty scattered out, so no harm, no foul, but back-to-back hit by pitch and walk here. A little bit of an issue here.
Farwell stands in, and the first pitch swung on and missed. Farwell, the other guy who had the multi-hit performance against Hastings in the series opener. He went 2 for 3, a double, a run scored, 3 for 10 on the year at 300 coming into this matchup with the Hastings Sodbusters. 1 strike to count as Jacobitz checks the runners. And the pitch is foul down the third base line. 2 strikes to count. As coaching third for OAHE is Devin Skelton. Noah Wiggins has first base coaching duties with the head coach Jamie Habiger handling the pitchers. Josh Printer in his first year as the head coach for the Hastings Sodbusters. 0-2 pitch on the way. Misses outside. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. His assistant coach, Corey Caranda. And Scott Galusha not on the field today. He was doing the PA duties a little bit earlier, I think, so he does a little bit of everything for this team. We're going to hear from him in game number 2. 1-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Creighton Jacobitz works around a bit of a jam here in the first. A hit batsman, a walk, but no damage. No scores out of the bottom half of inning number 1. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Into the bottom half of inning number 1 as the Hastings Sodbusters come to bat against the OAHE Zap. Easton Pratt, right-hander, is on the mound for OAHE. He was the winning pitcher in their season opener with 3 innings, allowed a run on 3 hits, struck out 1, walked 2, and he is going to get the matchup today. Didn't play in the spring for Minnesota State. And there may be a reason why. That was a pretty darn good team. They were very deep in the pitching staff, tremendous hitting team, an NCAA Division II tournament team, which went 51-8. So Pratt knows about winning, being involved in that particular program. Now he gets a chance to come out and get some innings here for OAHE, a winner in his season opener, beating the defending Independence League champs. And now we'll see how he does against the Hastings Sodbusters. Defensively, it's Mason Lang behind the plate, Quinn Ludvigsen at first base, Cole Ottersberg at second. The third baseman is Ty Farwell, and at shortstop it's Gavin Frazier as Drew Vegas steps to the plate for the Hastings Sodbusters and takes in the dirt for ball 1. The outfield, Nick Golden, Emiliano Montillo, and Connor Goldberg. And Vega off to a great start, 8 out of 16, 7 runs batted in and 4 runs scored, also 3 for 4 in stolen bases. 1-0 delivery is bounced foul. He's just been in the right position to get runs batted in. Really didn't happen for him a year ago, as had a tremendous season, but knocked in only 15 while scoring 33 times, almost halfway to his RBI total of a year ago through the first 4 games this season. And Vega's also showing his versatility. Will play 2 different positions in today's doubleheader. The 1-1 delivery, taken upstairs, 2-1. The plan is to have him in center field in Game 2. Of course, you never know if something goes awry, but right now second base to start the first game, center field to start game number 2. 2-1, Easton Pratt brings it home. And a swing and a miss, 2-2 now on Drew Vega. It's Steve Stein, Ryan Valenta from a dry, pretty pleasant Duncan Field right now. Haven't had very many good weather days, and if you are listening, watching in central Nebraska, come on out today. I need you to support the Hastings Sodbusters. You got a lot of time to get here, a doubleheader. 2-2 pitch on the way. Taken high and outside, 3-2 on Drew Vega. Good eye for the Arkansas Tech product. Arkansas Tech, an NCAA Division II team. As they went on to the Central Regional. They were their conference champs as well. Bouncing ball foul. Remains 3-2 on Drew Vega. Vega, fixture on the top of the order last year. He's shown other positions this year. I think he batted him second in game number 1, but has been back on the top of the order the last 3 contests, and now a 4th for the Hastings Sodbusters. 3-2 delivery on the way. And a swing and a miss at 1 down in the turf, picked up by the catcher. Throw down, low throw, and it's safe. Drew Vega beats it out. Mason Lang short-armed it, throwing to first, so the Sodbusters have a strikeout E2 to get the runner to begin the game.
Yeah, short arm couldn't have put it any better right there. Usually you see the catchers just gun that thing down there, and Ludvigsen did not get any favors from his catcher trying to scoop that baseball there. Sodbusters will take it any way they can.
Now, Luke Causey, who hit a 2-run home run. Yes, here at Duncan Field. Doesn't happen too often. He was able to drill one out to give the Sodbusters a lead they would not relinquish. Takes strike 1 here. Luke off to a good start. 438, 7 out of 16 with the aforementioned home run and 5 runs batted in. He's also scored 3 times. 0-1 delivery as the runner goes. Is taken for a strike. Throw down to second base. Not going to be in time. That's on into center field, but Vega gets up and can't advance as he kind of got hung up with the shortstop there. And backing up the play pretty well was Montios, a runner in scoring position. Nobody out, and an 0-2 count on Causey. Just getting rolling, no score. OAHE had a hit batsman and a walk in their half of the inning. The Sodbusters get an early break here, a strikeout and reach. And now a runner in scoring position, nobody out, and the pitch. Take it upstairs, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Luke Causey. Business finance major at Arkansas Tech. Maybe will go into accounting or personal finance. Still weighing those options. Played in only 4 games in the spring for Arkansas Tech. He's already playing in his 5th game for the Hastings Sodbusters. He wanted regular at-bats, and he's getting them.
And I hope he gets a lot of them.
Off to a great start. 1-2 pitch on the way. Beauty. Curveball dropped right in there. Causey could not swing the bat, and that's a good-looking pitch for Easton Pratt, who struck out the first 2 men he's faced, but there's 1 on and 1 out for Weston Johnston.
That one pretty dead center right there. Causey obviously looking for a fastball. And a great pitch selection by Pratt. 1 out closer to getting out of this leadoff mess where it should be 2 outs right now and bases empty.
Runner in scoring position for Weston Johnston, who watches this one go by for strike 1. No balls and a strike on Johnston. 400 hitter, 4 runs batted in, 6 runs scored, and 2 stolen bases. Had a 3-hit day against OAHE. With an RBI and 4 runs scored after not playing in the spring for Ark Tech. Johnston has gotten off to a nice start here in the Summer League. Runner goes from second, now elects to go back as the pitch just misses. I thought Vega was headed for third. Took about 3 steps and thought better of it as he gets the sign from Josh Printer in the third base coach's box.
Yeah, you're right. He was going, and then for whatever reason, maybe it was planned or not, thought he didn't get the greatest jump, just threw on the brakes right there.
Corey Caranda coaches at first. Vega jockeying out there at second, and the pitch is outside and low. 2 balls and a strike on Weston Johnston with Ryan Jarvis on deck for the Hastings Sodbusters. Just a weird early stats, and stats, you throw them out the window the first week of the season, but Drew Vega, 7 runs batted in. Ryan Jarvis, none. So that's kind of a reversal of roles compared to last year. 2-1 delivery. It's in the turf, and Vega will get on to third now, and a 3-1 count on Weston Johnston.
That ball in the turf, Lang couldn't keep it close enough. It's always interesting to see because a lot of college stadiums are going to turf now rather than grass. So some catchers, they've never tried to block a ball in turf, and yes, it does bounce differently on the 2 different playing surfaces.
So Johnston can look for something in his spot now at 3-1, and it's upstairs. So runners at the corners and only 1 man out for the Hastings Sodbusters, and here comes Ryan Jarvis. Good time for his first run batted in of the year, perhaps. Ryan Jarvis coming into the contest, 267, 5 runs scored, does have a stolen base this year. Sodbusters getting a stolen base this inning, now 18 out of 21 in the first 5 games. Runners at the corners, and the pitch. Just misses, 1-0 the count on Ryan Jarvis, Saginaw Valley State product. A rehab medicine major. I think the official major actually pre-physical therapy, but will go into rehab medicine after his 4 years at Saginaw Valley State. Throw over to first and back in safely is Johnston. The Sodbusters have liked to run in this situation with the first and third. And Ryan Jarvis hits this one high in the air, center field, carrying well, twisting, turning, and making the catch is Montillo. Well enough to score the run, and also Johnston good base running. He'll take second. So Jarvis allowed out, but an RBI, his first of the year, and the Sodbusters take advantage of that early mistake by OAHE to take a 1-0 lead.
Well, you know how in the MLB there's the certain StatCast. This would have been a home run in so many ballparks. Of the 7 or the 5 ballparks in here, that's probably a home run in 4 of the 5 ballparks. The only one not here at Duncan Field. That one was hit loud.
Yes, it felt like the hardest hit of the year, and it was a semi-routine fly ball to deep center field. First pitch swinging is Graham Hilton, fouls it away. No balls and 1 strike on Graham Hilton. Hilton getting a start today behind the plate for the Hastings Sodbusters. He's out of Northern Oklahoma Enid College. The Jets went 43-18 in the spring. Excellent 2-year school. And he went 2 for 9 against Spearfish in his only playing appearances in the 4 games for the Hastings Sodbusters. 0-1 delivery. Take it upstairs. Count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike on Hilton. Hilton out of Mustang, Oklahoma, has run batted in. He's got a stolen base. 1 on, 2 outs now. Sodbusters have jumped on top 1-0. Pitch swung on and missed, went up in his eyes. Graham Hilton down to the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Trying to bring home Johnston from second base. The strikeout allowing Drew Vega to reach on a poor throw from the catcher. He steals second, advances to third on a wild pitch, and comes home to score on Ryan Jarvis' sac fly. 1-2 pitch out of the zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Graham Hilton.
I'm sorry, Steve, I don't know if you said this already, but with Hilton in his spring season with Northern Oklahoma, he had 50 runs driven in that spring season. So this should feel almost like he could do this, hit a base hit right here in his sleep.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. Off speed, swung on and missed. It was, well, he thinks he hit. He thinks he fouled it off. He did not run toward first. I think he thought he tipped it. It was not called that way. It is going to be ruled a strikeout, and that's the way inning number 1 comes to a close. So Pratt actually gets 3 strikeouts in the inning, but gives up a run on no hits. The Sodbusters lead it 1-0 after 1, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner, a friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner. We head to the second inning. Mason Lang, Cole Ottersberg, and Nick Golden come to bat against Creighton Jacobitz in the second inning as the Hastings Sodbusters have a 1-0 lead, getting a run home on a strikeout and what was ruled a passed ball, and then a stolen base, a wild pitch, and a sacrifice fly getting the run home. And OAHE will have 6, 7, and 8 coming up against Creighton Jacobitz. Jacobitz a strikeout, a walk, and a hit batsman in that first inning. He threw 21 pitches and got off to a great start with a couple of weak grounders, got into trouble, but as we saw on Friday night, base runners didn't bother him. He really had command out there, and you loved the way he went about things on Friday, and a good start there, too. Just went out and made the pitches he needed to get out of difficulty as he faces Mason Lang, another lefty-lefty matchup. And a bunch of Spearfish players who were left-handed hitters against him, and it seems like a fairly lefty-predominant lineup for OAHE against Jacobitz as the pitch misses for ball one. 1-0 the count on Mason Lang. Jacobitz, Adams Central product from here in Hastings, or technically just outside of Hastings in Adams County. Pitch swung on and missed. And Mason Lang battling against Jacobitz. The pitch, that's outside. Count 1-2 The first pitch was actually called a strike. 1-2 now on Lang. Off speed right there, and Lang knew it. Could not pull the trigger. The second straight strikeout as Lang, who'd come into the game 2 for 5 on the season, including 1 for 1 against Hastings, goes down looking, 1 out, nobody on. Second inning, Hastings on top, 1-0.
Well, looks like Jacobitz certainly has the curveball and the fastball at his disposal right now. Haven't seen him use the changeup too much, but that is great to keep the hitters guessing of this OAHE squad.
Ottersberg swings and misses here. Cole Ottersberg, making his debut against Hastings, didn't play in the opener, is 1 for 3 on the season with a run scored, went 1 for 7 in the spring at Simpson University in California. He transferred there from Kentucky Christian, his hometown Peoria, Arizona, one of the returnees for this squad. 1-1 the count now on Ottersberg, and the pitch swung on and missed. That may have been the changeup. Took something off that one, and now 1-2 on Ottersberg. A year ago, Ottersberg hit 180 for OAHE, had a couple of triples, 3 runs batted in, and knocked in 9. 1-2 pitch, outside with a fastball, and the count 2 balls, 2 strikes on Ottersberg. 1 out, nobody on, second inning, 1-0 Sodbusters. As Hastings trying to win its 5th straight. Jacobitz with the pitch. Swing and a miss. 3 straight strikeouts now wrapped around that first inning break, and it'll be Nick Golden coming to the plate to try to avoid a 3-up, 3-down inning for this squad from OAHE.
All right, he's got all 3 pitches working now. That was 2 swings and misses in that at bat with the changeup. The left-handed pitcher to the right-handed hitter, that changeup, nasty.
Here's Nick Golden. Golden just 0 for 1 on the season. Bunts this one down the first base line and foul. No balls and a strike. Nice idea. Try to find a way to get that first hit and get a base runner and put a little pressure on Jacobitz. And Nick Golden getting his opportunity here to get a start for OAHE. He's out of American River Junior College. Count on him, no balls and 1 strike, 2 outs. Top half of inning number 2 as the Sodbusters and OAHE playing a 7-inning doubleheader. Pitch is down low, 1 ball and 1 strike. 7 innings, take about 20 minutes and get it going again. Really great weather now after it showered most of the pregame and poured during the batting practice of OAHE. Pitch fouled back, 1 ball and 2 strikes. They have had their share of rain issues as they're Second game in Casper was rained out, so they already had to play a doubleheader up there. Works out well, though, because they have the day off tomorrow before they have their home opener this weekend. 1-2 pitch on the way. Hard hit ball to the right side. Vega, great stop, gets to his feet, throws to first. Out! On a bang-bang play, and Golden throws his helmet down. It lands at the feet of Daniel Roth, the field umpire. Fortunately, it didn't hit him. Was not thrown out, and the Sodbusters, great play from Vega, even though OAHE didn't think so. Before we take a break, let's get your perspective, Ryan.
I can understand the frustration by Golden. I thought he beat the throw and was safe, but he is lucky. I know it's summer ball. Some of the umpires, they're just here, but that is definitely grounds for getting ejected right there. But Daniel Roth gives him the benefit of the doubt. But if Golden's on his list now, I don't think he'll be doing anything like that the rest of the game if he wants to keep playing.
1-2-3 is head of the bottom of the second. 1-0 Sodbusters. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to hastingssodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Head to the bottom half of inning number 2. Hastings on top 1-0. It'll be Loera, Hannaford, and Phillips to bat against Easton Pratt. Christian Loera getting his first start in a couple of days, was really solid at the shortstop position. His first 2 games of the year against Spearfish. And at the plate, 1 for 4 those first 2 games. Stands the right-handed box, and he's very familiar with the head coach of the Hastings Sodbusters because he plays for Josh Printer at Arkansas State Mountain Home, and he watches the first pitch go by here for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Nick Golden, who grounded out to end that last inning, did himself no favors because he slid into first. Aren't you told, like Little League, run all the way through? That's why I got that bag there, and he went and tried to dive, and it's not faster. And you mentioned you're an umpire. It kind of messes the umpire up, too, because you really don't get a good look at it.
Yeah, you're expecting to see the foot come down or hear the foot hitting the bag and the ball hitting the glove. When you're diving down, then you got to look up at the ball and then down at the base. It's not easy, and a lot of times the call's going to go against you.
Christian Loera, 2 balls and 1 strike the count on this young man as he stands at the right-handed box from Oklahoma City. 2-1 pitch on the way. Bouncing ball foul, 2-2. Tremendous high school player, defensive player in the year in the state of Oklahoma after his senior season. And has shown a nice glove at the shortstop spot in the early returns here in his 2 games for the Sodbusters. 2-2 delivery on the way. Fouled straight back. 2 balls and 2 strikes still. That's a lot of times you're lucky at this level if you have 1 good shortstop. Hastings may have 3, so that's pretty neat to have that depth at that position, and have looked really good in a lot of different positions defensively. Loera knew it as he watches it go by for strike 3. He's off-speed pitch. Am I still going to be here? He is not as he watches it go by. Then already the 4th strikeout for Easton Pratt.
I mean, hit that curveball right there. It looks like it's starting at the hitter's eyes and then just drops right in the zone. As a hitter, you barely have any time to react to a baseball already. You see that at your eyes thinking, no way, and then before you can change your mind, umpire's already thrown his fists at you to send you back to the dugout.
First pitch to Jet Hannaford is down low for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes on Jet Hannaford. Hannaford off to a 2-for-9 start. He's another Arkansas State Mountain Home product, 2-for-9 with 2 runs batted in. And watches this one for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes on Jet. Played against Spearfish in the opener. Went 0 for 4 with a run scored and a stolen base. Was a pinch runner in game number 2 and then went 1 for 5 against OAHE in the series opener. A couple of runs scored and 3 stolen bases in that one. Takes strike 1, 2-1 the count on Hannaford as the Sodbuster outfielder has more stolen bases than OAHE. OAHE has 1 stolen base this season. 2-1 delivery on the way. Pitch taken upstairs, now 3-1 on Hannaford. Sodbusters trying to get a 1-out base runner, and they've used that small ball to their advantage at times during this season. You think back to game number 2 against Spearfish when got a lot of walks, but able to get some stolen bases, put runners in motion, had a big double steal toward the end of that game. 3-1 delivery is across for strike 2, 3-2 on Jet Hannaford. Double steal in the 9th, got the tying run home on a throwing error, and then they won it with a sacrifice fly to the second baseman on a wet night on the turf. 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Back-to-back called third strikes and 3 straight strikeouts for Easton Pratt. It'll be Chase Phillips to try to get it going for the Hastings Sodbusters.
That's the same pitch right there, the breaking ball that just starts at the top of the zone and drops in. I think the big thing for the pitcher Pratt there is his arm angle. He's kind of an over-the-top pitcher. A lot of guys will go kind of 45 degrees up or maybe from the side. He is going like almost from his top of his head down, which creates a lot of extra deception.
Chase Phillips at the plate, fouls the first pitch away. He has done a little of everything for the Hastings Sodbusters. He's played second base, now getting his first start at center field. His only game where he played in the field, went 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored against Spearfish in the series finale. He's also pitched a couple of times, including against OAHE. Came in and faced 1 batter to end the 8th inning after the great start from Marcus Miller. Pitch across for a strike, no balls and 2 strikes as Chase out of Aurora High School and playing his college ball at Metro Community College, Kansas City. Was recruited as a pitcher, but has played in the field almost exclusively as a redshirt freshman. 0-2 pitch is popped up, so does put it in play, but that should do it as OAHE brings on its second baseman and making the catch, Cole Ottersberg, and the Sodbusters are gone quietly here in the second. 1-2-3. We head to the third. We'll hear from Ryan right after this. It's 1-0, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
We had inning number 3. Hastings leads OAHE 1-0, and here is Ryan Valenta.
Thank you, Steve. You're watching Sodbuster Baseball on this little bit brisk Thursday evening now. Plenty of baseball still headed your way once we're done with this 7 innings. 30-minute intermission, and we've got 7 more innings. Sodbusters looking to either win or sweep this home series to win their second consecutives. Sodbusters 3-0 against Spearfish. Their final game got rained out. That was earlier this week on Monday, which will be made up hopefully sometime in Spearfish, part of a doubleheader. The Sodbusters undefeated now and looking to continue its 11-game win streak dating back to the start of last season against the OAHE Zap.
63 degrees, winds out of the north at 8 miles an hour. Didn't do the weather update, but really the games we've had so far, this is pretty nice weather for baseball.
Concrete is a little wet in some spots. Like we mentioned, the pregame shower, but hopefully it is set to stay dry. The 9-hole hitter for OAHE coming up first, Emiliano Montillo, will take ball 1 outside. The only guy not to see the plate today. Montillo in yesterday's game was 0 for 4 against Sodbuster pitchers. and takes ball 2 down low. Emiliano Montillo. Guy goes to Saracoso Community College. Taking a look at his spring numbers, 273 average in 15 games, drove in 6 runs for the Coyotes. 2-1 finds the zone at the bottom of the strike zone, according to home plate umpire Jason Seitz. And as previously mentioned, Daniel Roth working the field today. 2-1 from the southpaw. Waved at and missed, 2-2. Good changeup once again by Jacobitz. Looking forward to see with the beneficial spring college that will be getting his services next year, as appears that he has found it here. Another comebacker right to Creighton. He'll sprint over, underhand toss to first base in time for the out. Quickly 1 up and 1 down, and Jacobitz looking good against the bottom of the lineup.
And through the first time of the order, nobody has got it past second base. So really like that to go along with his strikeouts.
Jacobitz retired the side 1-2-3 in the second inning. Allowed a hit and a hit by pitch, but nothing in the hit column. 9 batters in. Ball 1 downstairs, back up to the top of the order in Andrew Phillips. Phillips, one of the Division I guys on the team, South Dakota State product. As Scott Galusha told us on Tuesday, we're rooting for OAHE to lose, but we're rooting for Andrew Phillips because he was a guy that tried so hard to get as a sodbuster last year with those South Dakota State guys, Jude Sundquist and Jack Kruger spending some time with the sodbusters, but Phillips wanting to stay a little bit closer to home to play summer ball. Right on the outside corner for strike 1, 2 balls and 1 strike to Andrew Phillips. He grounded back to Jacobitz in the first inning to lead off the game. Jacobitz at 42 pitches now. He threw 102 in the season opener back on Friday. Nice breaking ball to get a swing and a miss to make it 2-2. Hastings getting their only run of the game in the first inning, which came on a passed ball strikeouts. That allowed the base runner to get on. Vega came all the way around on a stolen base, a wild pitch, and then an RBI sac fly. 2-2, yanked it in the opposite batter's box, and the count has run full. OAHE only with 4 runs in the contest on Tuesday night. Still looking for their first this evening. Payoff. Inside for ball 4. Tried the breaking ball, but just misses for the 1-out walk. Second free pass that Jacobitz has handed out this evening. That'll bring up the second hole hitter, Gavin Frazier. Frazier guy appearing in 3 games for OAHE. A 3 for 11 mark for him. Double and an RBI. He's also been walked 4 times. Jacobitz working from the stretch. Pop up out of play. Frazier batted leadoff in the first game of the series on Tuesday. And he went 0 for 5. Frazier came into the game batting .500 at 3 for 6. The Sodbusters had his number a couple nights ago. In the first inning, he grounded out to second base. Just miss on the breaking ball, might have been a little upstairs. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Ooh, getting a signal from next door. That flight scope said it did catch the top of the zone. That one just a bit outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. That one did miss outside of the zone. Our flight scope machine, which you can see on your screen, that little red and white box just off to the right of your screen. Runner goes on the 2-1 pitch. Throw down to second by Hilton is on the money, but it's not in time. Andrew Phillips just in ahead of the tag of Drew Vega at second base. Perfect one-hop throw by Hilton, but Phillips is now in scoring position.
And OAHE has its second stolen base of the season.
That only other one coming from the guy that is on deck. But rolling the dice here, and the Zap win that battle. 3-1 outside. Back-to-back walks with 1 out in the 3rd inning. 3rd walk for Jacobitz. He only walked 3 in 7 innings. in his first start on Friday. Quick conversation from the infielders on the mound. And Steve, if you're one of those infielders, what are you telling Mr. Jacobitz right there?
Throw strikes. We're here to help. And that's so easy. That's
Thank
so
you,
easy
Sherlock.
to say. Yeah. A lot of help out here, buddy. And he's been pretty close to the zone. It's not like he's throwing way out of the zone.
Yep.
And I think Jason Seitz has had a pretty fair zone. I mean, you mentioned the one that may be missed, but we have this flight scope thing, and, it's a whole computer thing. And as far as human beings go, I think Jason Seitz has done a really good job behind home plate.
Can you imagine? We used to live off the lands in ancient times, and now there's a bunch of electronics in a little pad 25 feet behind home plate that can accurately say where the balls are thrown. Baffling.
Yeah.
Baffling to me. Awesome technology. Don't know how it's possible, but I'm glad it is. 2 on with 1 outs. 0-1, now quickly 0-2 to Quinn Ludvigsen. The Zap first baseman was plunked by Jacobitz in the first inning. So no official at bat. In Tuesday's game, he was 0 for 2 with 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. Chopper to Jacobitz, leaps up, throws to first. He throws it away down the line. The Zap will tie the game and maybe take the lead. The second runner, Frazier, coming all the way around. On his way to third is Ludvigsen. 2-run score. That throw almost gets away. A errant throw by the pitcher, Creighton Jacobitz, gives OAHE the 2-1 lead. And Ludvigsen all the way to third. I think Jacobson thought he didn't have as much time as he did. And a costly error for the Sodbusters in the third.
Just about to say, tremendous play, because he was able to climb the ladder, and once he got it, you mentioned he was going to have plenty of time to throw, but big error there, and now we'll see how he bounces back. Still no hits in this game, but OAHE has the 2-1 lead.
Now the infield will come slightly in here with another potential run at third base. That's Connor Goldberg swinging and missing at the first strike pitch. Lefty delivers up high for ball 1. So the 2 walks do come around to score. Both of those runs unearned on the throwing error right there. So for Jacobitz, he gives up his first runs of the year, but still no earned runs. 1-1, changeup, got a big swing and a miss there to make it 1-2 on Connor Goldberg, who walked in the first inning. Tuesday's game, Goldberg was 2 for 3. He got pinch hit for in the 9th. Down low to make it 2 balls and 1 strike. Jacobitz trying to limit the damage in the third. Already 2 home on the throwing error 1 batter ago. This will be pitch number 57 for Jacobitz. Got him swinging, strike 3. Pulled the string on the changeup again. The lefty on righty changeup seems to have been the put-away pitch for Jacobitz this evening. That strikeout is his 4th.
Good composure there after he made the big mistake, after he walked the previous 2. Now comes back to get the strikeout and a chance to minimize the damage if he can get Farwell.
Farwell, today's beer batter, puts it down the first base line, right past the first base coach. Tried to make a wild stab there, but nothing doing there. Ty Farwell struck out. He obliged as the beer batter in the first inning. Sodbusters were in a 2-game beer batter drought before Farwell went down on strikes. Head high fastball to make it 1 ball and 1 strike. Seven-inning contest, so still plenty of time to come back in this game. 1-1, got a piece of it back to the screen on the curveball. Well, 1 strike away from offering the Duncan Field faithful some discounted adult beverages here at Duncan Field. Farwell, he's a Canadian from Spruce Grove, Alberta. Watches ball 2 go by, just barely missing. Farwell from Dickinson State University. 3 games this year went 3 for 10. As in OAHE Zap in his first year. Jacobitz still ahead. And now he's back to the dugout with the backwards K. Farwell, the beer batter, down on strikes for the second straight time. OAHE grabs the 2-1 lead, but 2 more punch-outs for Jacobitz, up to 5 on the evening. Busters will look to get those runs back in the bottom of the third when we return.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner, a friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
As we enter the bottom of the third inning, OAHE leads the Hastings Sodbusters by a score of 2-1. Well, it was OAHE having a brief lead on Tuesday night. They actually grabbed the 1-0 lead after the top of the second inning, so the Sodbusters find themselves down again for the second consecutive game, but will look to come back again, but they will do so against a new pitcher. This is T.J. Eikenberry, an Ellsworth Community College product, who will be on for his second time this season. 1 appearance, 1 inning pitched, a 0 ERA, did not allow any hits, did not strike anybody out, did not walk anybody out in his lone appearance. That means the starter Easton Pratt, his day is done after just 8 batters and a 1 run allowed for him. Jaden Shabry, Drew Vega, Luke Cossey, the Sodbusters coming up.
Guess that answers my question. I was theorizing that OAHE, with the kind of start they were getting out of Easton Pratt, did they go deeper? You mentioned it yesterday that nobody'd thrown more than 3 innings for this OAHE team in the first 3 games of the year. They kind of continue that trend. They're keeping everybody fresh for the year to go on, but man, oh man, I kind of like my chances against anybody but Easton Pratt after he struck out 5 in the first 2 innings.
I agree right there. Pratt threw 38 pitches, so he does have to have a day off of rest, but then again, we told you that OAHE has tomorrow off, so he could theoretically come back for their next game on Saturday. Jaden Shabry, today's third baseman, is split time on the left side of the infield, and Shabry is ahead in the counts, 1-0. How to play on the foul ball to make it 1-1. One of the guys that just graduated high school from Boulder Creek, California. 286 average for Shabry in the 3 games he has appeared in so far. 4 hits, and he's got one of the 2 team triples. 1-1, breaking ball down low and inside from the new arm of T.J. Eikenberry. OAHE had to use multiple pitchers in their loss on Tuesday. The Sodbusters tagging them. OAHE used 4 arms. How to play again to the right side to make it 2 balls and 2 strikes. Everybody, a couple of pitchers that pitched on Tuesday, besides the starter, are eligible to pitch again today, but each of them went at least 1 inning, 2 of them more than 2 innings. It's now a full count to Shabry. Past 5 Sodbusters have been retired in a row, but Shabry a pitch away from finding his way on the easy way. Let's check out the payoff here. Popped it up. Foul territory near the OAHE dugout. The catcher makes the play, Mason Lang, right in front of his team's dugout railing. The wind might have blew that back into play too. The flag is moving from right to left. Crosswind here, and that might have just had enough wind on it to keep it in the ballpark.
Eikenberry in the spring through 16 and a third innings had a 7.71 ERA. So another guy who's trying to get some experience here for the summer, get a few more innings, and try to do better his next year at Ellsworth Community College.
See how the Sodbusters respond against a lefty after facing a right-handed pitcher for the first couple of innings. Swing and a miss by Drew Vega. 0-1. Hastings back to the top of their order. Vega struck out against Easton Pratt. Like we told you, he reached on that wild pitch or passed ball strikeout, which was not ruled an error. Even though the catcher Lang just threw a lawn dart to his first baseman, allowing Vega to reach and end up scoring Hastings' only run. Drew Vega has had at least one hit and one RBI in each of his 4 games he's played so far. Pops that in the air, but that will get out of play to the right field side. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Sodbuster returner. He's already been one of our Sodbuster spotlights this year. If you haven't already, tune into our spotlights. You can visit Spotify and search Sodcast, S-O-D-C-A-S-T, all one word. We've got all of our interviews from players, which will be done throughout the season. 1-2 from Eikenberry. Just got a piece of it to stay alive on the foul ball. Sodbusters have the weekend off, Friday through Sunday after this game. Then they will welcome Fremont for a brief 2-game home and away series. They'll have Fremont here on Monday and then go to Fremont on Tuesday. Eikenberry still ahead 1-2, and now it's 2-2. Drew Vega in Tuesday's game against OAHE went 1 for 3 with a couple of runs driven in. In the game before that, against Spearfish, he had a 4-hit game, the second in his Sodbuster career. 2-2, strike 3 called on the outside corner. Lots of backwards Ks for both sides this evening, and Vega's retired for the second time on strikes today.
Kind of like the second game of the series with Spearfish, where the Sodbusters had a heck of a time putting anything in play. You'd take a win, but you'd like a little more offensive production than they had that night.
Well, it's already the 5th time a Sodbuster hitter struck out, and they struck out 8 times in Tuesday's game. Wave and a miss at the first pitch by Luke Cossey. Guy who will always have a spot in Duncan Field history, sending a ball over the 405 right center field sign on Tuesday. 0-1 pitch inside to make it 1 ball and 1 strike. Luke Cossey struck out looking in the first inning. He is 0 for 1. On Tuesday against OAHE, one of the 3 Sodbusters with a multi-hit game, that home run and a single. 2 balls and 1 strike as that pitch misses from Eikenberry. A little bit of a shift on for Cossey, and the second baseman and first baseman playing farther over than they normally would. Chopped foul, and it's 2-2. Outfield not shifted as much. The right fielder Goldberg in pretty normal right field position. If anything, he's almost closer over to right center field. Goldberg was the right fielder on Tuesday that saw that fly ball go over his head and over the wall. Eikenberry from the winds. Line drive, that's grabbed by the second baseman Ottersberg on a dive, but nobody's able to cover first base. That's an infield single for Luke Cossey. Heck of an effort by Cole Ottersberg, but nothing he could do to get the base runner out.
Certainly looked like it was headed toward the outfield. Luke continues to pull the ball well with a lot of authority. See if they can get something going with 2 outs and now 1 on.
So Cossey is on with his second hit in the series. Correction, that'll be his 3rd hit in the series, but second game with a hit. Weston Johnston, a prime candidate to do that. Eikenberry set, will pick off to first. Cossey back in safely. Well, after the Tuesday game, Steve, while you were catching up with Luke Cossey on our Sodcast, which we'll feature later today, asked the other guys, well, home runs seem to come in bunches in years because we had none last year and 3 in 2023, as Weston Johnston puts a float shot in the left field. It falls for a base hit. A little bit of a misplay by Nick Golden, the left fielder. I think he thought that was coming right at him or over his head. didn't get a great jump on it. Nonetheless, it's a single for Weston Johnston.
I thought so, too. When that came off the bat, I thought that's headed for the left field gap, and we may get a run home. And, boy, that you talk about misplay and a misjudge. I am totally with you, Nick Golden.
That makes three of us. I thought that one was headed towards the gap as well, but to finalize my last thought, said, well, who's going to hit the next home run? And a lot of guys pointed to Weston, said that he would probably be a guy that could send it over the outfield wall. Strike one into the fifth batter of the inning. It's Ryan Jarvis. So after the first two were retired for Hastings, back-to-back singles to put two on with two outs. And for Hastings, those are their first two hits of the game. Breaking ball down low, 1-1. Sodbusters had gone 10 straight batters without getting a base hit. Luke Cossey with the single at second, Johnston at first. Ryan Jarvis drove in Hastings' only run with an RBI sac fly. Back in the first inning. Jarvis chops it towards the OAHE dugouts, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ryan Jarvis 4 for 15, a .267 average. He has gotten exactly one single in each of the 4 games. But like we mentioned, still looking for his first ribby of the year. There is a potential one standing on second base. Eikenberry, ground ball to second base. Another chance for Ottersburg. This time, no trouble making that play. Sodbusters will strand the 2 two-out singles and do not score after 3 completes. OAHE remains in the lead by a score of 2-1. Fourth inning coming your way on Sodbuster Baseball.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball. Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen, a tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Picture perfect day for summer baseball, said few people ever. It's no sunshine here at Duncan Field, but the fans still out in full force, enjoying the 5th home game of the year for Sodbuster Baseball. Well, scheduled to have 31 with Monday's game getting rained out against Spearfish. Then there's 30 home games scheduled throughout the season, so plenty of time to come see the Hastings Sodbusters. Great promotions, events, and on-field entertainment here at Duncan Field all season long. It's worth the trip to one of the most historic baseball fields in central Nebraska. Well, as we go to the 4th inning, OAHE still in front 2-1, and coming up for the Zap against Creighton Jacobitz, Mason Lang, the 6th-hole hitter, to lead things off. Fastball misses outside, and 1-0. Lang, Ottersburg, and Golden coming up for the Zap. Been so far so good, besides the one error for Creighton Jacobitz that gave the Zap the lead. Otherwise, it has been all good so far. Graham Hilton caught that pitch off the turf and tried to frame it like it was a strike, and you'd see Jason Seitz, the home plate umpire, saying, funny, man.
Yeah, I think
still not calling it a strike.
I would have loved to hear what he did say, because, I don't know if he tapped him on the back, said,
Because his head tilt, he's like, really? Well, it's 3-0 on Lang, who struck out looking against Jacobitz in the first. Well, he's swinging 3-0 and fouling it back to the screen. And, oh boy, we jinxed it. There's some raindrops on the concrete now.
Bummer.
Some fans are retreating for the concourses here. 3-1 again, just getting a piece of it is Mason Lang to send it back to the screen. Foul. So from 3-0 to 3-2, Lang pinch hit. Got a pinch hit opportunity in the 9th on Tuesday and had an RBI single. So in the series, he's 1 for 2. Strike 3 called at the bottom of the zone. What a job by Creighton Jacobitz to work it back and set down Lang on strikes for the second straight time.
Farmers in central Nebraska are happy that Sodbuster Baseball has arrived, because since Sodbuster Baseball has started, it's rained almost every day. The drought is over. The Sodbusters are the drought killers.
Well, let's see how it turns out in the month of June and July, but the late parts of May, not good. Pop-up on the infield on the first pitch to the shortstop, Loera. Easy catch for him as Cole Ottersberg pops out on one pitch in the 4th inning.
You mentioned the fact that, of course, that one error was big, but keep in mind he had the 2 walks before it, which set the table. So kind of working himself into that situation, but you love his response. Since that time, 3 strikeouts and a pop-up.
Walks have been the killer. It doesn't matter who, and that one got the batter on the hands, Nick Golden. And he will get to first base. Hopefully he keeps his helmet on this time.
And hope his hand's okay, because that can be so scary. You get hit on the pitch, hit by on your hand. He seems all right, but you all kinds of little bones to get broken when you get hit by a pitch on the hand.
Looking at the replay, it almost looked like he got hit in the elbow or something, but I'm not sure. He was shaking his hand there. It's 0-1 to the next batter, the 9th place hitter, Emiliano Montillo. Montillo grounded back to first, or to the pitcher rather, in his first at-bat to lead off the 3rd. And swings and misses at a pitch out of the zone. It's quickly 0-2. Runner at first with 2 outs here. Jacobitz looking to set down the side after that hit by pitch. Runner on the move, fouled off by Montillo. Golden, the head first dive into second, still have to run all the way back to first. Daniel Roth saying, come on, dudes, foul ball. Golden's maybe hoping that he can get away with it. Still 0-2 on Emiliano Montillo. Jacobitz looking for the 0. How to play again. Montillo will see another pitch. Siracoso product. He is a Las Vegas native. Just finished up his sophomore year with the Coyotes. But Montillo still looking for his first hit in the series. Runner does not go. Montillo, same spot, same results. That time right into the fans by the concourse. Precipitation continues to sprinkle on the players and fans here at Duncan Field to start off this 4th inning. Runner on the move. Ground ball foul this time to the left side. 4 straight foul balls by Emiliano Montillo, and he will see a 7th pitch in this at-bat. So good battle here going on between the 9-hole hitter and Creighton Jacobitz. This will be pitch number 78. A minuscule lead, and they throw over to first. Jarvis has to stab at that ball to make sure it doesn't go down the line. And there is right-handed action in the bullpen. It looks like the Sodbusters are warming up Nate Fisher. Only reason I know that because of his set motion and his delivery. 0-2. Got him looking on the outside corner. Breaking ball. Strike 3. Jacobitz strikes out 2 more in the inning as he is mowing down the Spearfish offense. He's got now 7 strikeouts on the day. Still 2-1 OAHE. Sodbusters coming up in the bottom of the 4th.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back, or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Welcome back to Duncan Field. Scott Galusha, our GM co-owner and resident meteorologist.
As of now, we're just fine and look forward to a nice evening of baseball. Thank you.
The great Scott Galusha letting us know that, well, it is raining in the area, but it should not be too heavy. And there is some lightning in the Grand Island area, but it should stay up there. And we should be able to play uninterrupted baseball, according to Scott. Bottom of the fourth inning, OAHE Zap. They'll go with their third pitcher of the evening.
As Aiden Johnson is going to come in, he's a returning guy from last year. A season ago, he was able to pitch and to hit as well. Aiden Johnson out of Avila University, the Eagles at the NAI. He actually went to Saracoso Community College, hometown of Austin, Texas. So one of the returning guys for this team. In the spring for Avila, he was 3-4 with a save, a 3.41 ERA, pitched 34 innings.
And first to take a look at him will be Graham Hilton, today's catcher. And he takes a big cut and a miss. Count no balls and one strike. Johnson on for his second time this season. Pitched back on Sunday. That doubleheader against Casper. Threw an inning. Actually started the game. That was the bullpen game. But Johnson had a rough start. 5 hits and 6 runs in just that one inning alone against Casper. 1-1, high and away, 2 balls and 1 strike. So OAHE starter goes 2 innings. Their reliever, Eikenberry, goes 1 inning, and now it's Aiden Johnson. Graham Hilton, he struck out swinging in the first, and will take ball 3 down into the turf. Well, we did see some rays of sunshine just intermittently throughout the day, but nothing doing for the Rays here since game time started back at just over an hour ago. Cut and a miss set the 3-1, and the count runs full 3-2. Graham Hilton, the Mustang, Oklahoma native, just finished up his second season at Northern Oklahoma Eden. Payoff pitch in the air to left, foul territory, and it will get out of play down the third base line. Hilton this spring in 35 games for Northern Oklahoma. .263 average, 26 hits. And of those 26 hits, 13 of them going for extra bases. 50% of the time it was extra bases for Hilton. 9 doubles, a triple, and 3 homers. Gets a piece of the 3-2, and we'll see one more pitch. Hilton did not play in the series opener back on Tuesday. And on the season, he's 2-9. Doesn't get the call. Uh-oh. Aiden Johnson's doing his K-strut on the mound, and according to our flight scope, that should have been strike 3 right there, but Hilton will take the walk.
Sodbusters get a leadoff man aboard, and we'll see if they can turn that into a run. The only inning that they reach their leadoff man, that's the inning that they put their run across.
Looks like Johnson's trying to say my bad. That pitch looked really good up here to us. And Johnson just was walking away, signaling that he knew he had the strikeout. Just wanted to say, sorry I wasn't trying to show you up Jason Seitz. Strike one. Across the plate to Christian Loera. Loera seeing his first time since the first and second games of the season. He's got the past 2 games off. Loera struck out in his first at-bat to lead off the seconds, but he's showing bunt and pulling back twice. And he's down on the count 0-2. So that would eliminate any probably possibility of a bunt. But only one way to find out. Hilton away from first. Ground ball to the right side, sliding stop. They go to second and then get the force out there. Cole Ottersberg, the presence of mind, knowing that he still had time with the catcher running down to second base to get the leadoff runner.
And really close to having that shortstop, Frazier, come across the bag before catching it. I thought he wanted to make sure he got it, didn't throw over to first base, but it almost looked like the throw came as Frazier came across the bag. One way or the other, it's one out and one on. We'll see if the Sodbusters can pick a teammate up now with Jet Hannaford.
One out here in the bottom of the fourth. Sodbusters looking for their first run since the first inning. Good breaking ball by Johnson. 0-1 against Hannaford, another one of the strikeout victims of OAHE, who has punched out 6 batters. OAHE pitchers had 8 strikeouts in the series opener. Ground ball to the right side. This time that's going to get through for a base hit. Hitting the bag at second, going to third is Loera, and he'll make it with a head-first dive and no throw there. Didn't hit it too hard, did Hannaford, but he put it in a perfect spot. Runners at the corners with 1 out for Hastings.
Sodbusters unable to get that bunt down, kind of cost themselves a run there, but still a good opportunity with first and third. And only 1 man out with the 8 and 9 hitters coming up.
That's a 3rd hit for Hannaford this summer. Told that last pitch was a curveball at 66 miles an hour. Be tough to get pulled over on Highway 6 going that fast. Pickoff to first back in safely is Hannaford. He does have some stolen bases on the season. 4 for 4 as a matter of fact coming into today's game. So Johnson keeping a close eye on him. Loera at third and Chase Phillips at the dish. He smacks one into left field, and that will tie the game at 2. RBI single for the Central Nebraska native. Phillips has his 3rd hit as a Sodbuster to drive in Christian Loera.
After the first 2 pitchers had some pretty decent success, Sodbusters getting to Johnson a little bit and trying to take the lead now with first and second and only 1 man out.
Exit velo 90 miles an hour off the bats of Chase Phillips, who is now 3 for 6 in a Sodbuster uniform. 3 for 5, correction. Well, chance to add on some more and take the lead here with Jaden Shabry. Shows bunt, takes it back for ball 1. This inning all started with a lead-off walk and a couple of singles, and the Sodbusters have tied it at 2. Now with 4 hits in the game, they've had all 4 of their hits in the past 2 innings. First baseman Ludvigsen is crashing, still expecting a bunt from Shabry. Pickoff throw to seconds. Hannaford is back in there.
On the second base side, good job for Gavin Frazier to make sure that baby didn't get into center field.
Shabry popped out to the catcher in foul territory back in the 3rd and is 0 for 1 today. Not bunting, double steal on, throw goes to third and it gets away from Farwell. It's a double steal for the Sodbusters. Coach Printer drawing up the risky play there, and it works out in his favor. Now 2 in scoring position.
3 stolen bases for Hannaford in the last game against OAHE. The front man of the stolen base double steal there, and that forces OAHE to bring the infield in here with 1 out in the 4th inning.
2 balls and no strikes to Shabry. In the turf, but a good block by Lang to keep it in front. So it's 3 balls and no strikes. First base is open, but you got the top of the order in Drew Vega on deck. So barring a bizarre double play, Vega will likely see an at-bat here as the sprinkles continue to come down. Right in there for strike one. 3 balls and 1 strike. Jaden Shabry with 4 hits in 3 games for the Sodbusters so far. Also with a pair of RBIs. 3-1. That one is rocketed to left field, and it is off the glove of the left fielder, Golden. 1 run will score. The second runner stops at third. The throw gets away, and now here comes the second run. The ball goes back to the screen, and 2 runs will score. Shabry all the way to third base on the dropped fly ball by Nick Golden in left field. Sodbusters will take the lead 4-2 on the misplay out in the outfield.
Really tough chance, though, and that was a rocket. Golden went back. I thought he had it, and then it just bounced away, and then he compounded the issue by making a poor throw in. The Sodbusters would have had second and third, but that's allowing a second run to come home. We mentioned the fact that the infield was in. You're thinking, why are you doing that in the 4th inning? Only a 7-inning game, so technically it's getting late. So wanted to try to at least keep a tie game, and now the Sodbusters have 2 and looking for more.
Jamie Habiger, the head coach and pitching coach for the Zap, is out on the mound to talk with his infield battalion. After Aiden Johnson has coughed up the lead for OAHE, giving up 3 runs here, and curious to see how they, looks like they give that an error on Golden, and they also give an error to the third baseman Farwell. So 2 errors on the play for OAHE, leads to 2 Sodbuster runs. So I guess the second error is saying that Farwell should have caught that return throw in and let another run come home. But a potential 4th run now stands at third base, and Drew Vega will watch strike 1 go by on the breaking ball. Infield once again is in for OAHE. So Shabry drives in a pair, doesn't get RBIs for them since the error. Foul tip into the mitts of Lang, 0-2 on Vega.
I always think that he would have had a sac fly. He should get 1 RBI out of that, but with the error awarded, he doesn't get an awarded for an RBI. But in my head, he still should get 1 batted in because he would have gotten 1 batted in.
0-2 to Vega, and the turf, good block by Lang. Yeah, if you look at the box score on Game Changer right now, it just says that Shabry's 0 for 2. But if he doesn't put that ball in play just like he did, it's probably still a tie game, or who knows what would happen. So Loera, Hannaford, and Phillips have come in to score this inning. Shabry at third. And Johnson way ahead in the counts. Off the foot of Vega, and that one smarts on the foul ball. So Vega will gather his bearings and retake his stance in the batter's box. The 6th Sodbuster to come to the plate this inning, and their biggest inning so far. Couple of hits in the inning and a big error. The 1-2 grounded back to the pitcher Johnson. Looks the runner back, lobs over to first in time for the outs, and nowhere for Shabry to go. Thought maybe that Shabry could have been far enough off third base, or they could have thrown behind him, but Johnson takes the surefire out at first base.
It's a big second out. Sodbuster's trying to get that runner home from third base, and now if Luke Causey can come through, get a tack-on run here. Like I say, just a 7-inning game, so it's getting late. You'd love to find a way to get a little insurance as we head toward the 5th.
Aiden Johnson's pitch lined into left field. It's hanging up for Nick Golden. This time he redeems himself by making the catch. Causey's hit it hard this week here at Duncan Field, but nothing to show for it that time. However, Hastings will take the 3 runs on 2 hits and a couple of errors. It's 4-2. Sodbusters lead it as we head to the top of the 5th.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
4 complete at Duncan Field, but it's now the Hastings Sodbusters in the lead for the second time today. 4-2 your score. Steve Stein, myself, Ryan Valenta, joining you on this wet evening now. Steve, you said it was dry earlier, so I think you might have a little bit of something to do with this.
It's
a jinx, if you will.
It's the Sodbuster rain, man. It's the if the Sodbusters play, it's going to rain, and that's what happens.
I mean, in my 3rd year of doing this now, I cannot remember a stretch of any games in any season where this has been this poor weather in this many games in a row. But we trudge on nonetheless to the top of the 5th inning with the top of the OAHE order. Andrew Phillips, the first to lead off against Creighton Jacobitz, gets a ground ball over to second base. Drew Vega makes the throw over to first. Phillips retired on 1 pitch in the 5th inning.
Big for Creighton Jacobitz. That's pitch number 80, hoping to get him through 5. There was action before, no action now. Some guys milling around, and so a big step toward completing that 5th inning.
We saw Nate Fisher getting hot earlier, but Jacobitz wants to keep his streak going. Upstairs for ball 1. A 4-2 game here at Duncan Field. The second game scheduled to begin 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. It's Gavin Frazier taking strike 1. Frazier and the Zap now making their 3rd time through the lineup. Frazier with a ground out and a walk, plus a run scored. The lefties 1-1. Curveball downstairs, 2-1. Base is empty behind Jacobitz once again. From left to right, it's Hannaford, Phillips, and Cossey. From 3rd to 1st, Shabry, Loera, Vega, and Jarvis. Hilton doing the catching. Wave and a miss. A heater upstairs. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Creighton Jacobitz just only allowing the 2 unearned runs in the 3rd inning on an error of his own doing. Foul ball out of play. Count remains 2-2 as Jacobitz gets closer and closer to the 90 pitch mark. His 7-inning outing, he went 101 pitches. 2-2 outside to make it 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jacobitz also a guy that was a starter on the mound in high school here at Adams Central, but converted to a reliever his past 2 years, but knows how to start games. Ground ball hits softly to 3rd. Charging is Shabry. Throw on the run is perfect. Jaden Shabry making a not-so-easy play. Looked pretty routine at the hot corner.
Had to charge to get the hop to his liking, and then never really set his feet, but he's got a good arm. We saw it at the shortstop position. He's played both short and third for this Sodbuster team, and I like him both places.
Shabry making the nice play, and 2 up and 2 down for Jacobitz and the Zap in this top of the 5th inning. First pitch high and tight to Quinn Ludvigsen. Well, theoretically, if Jacobitz can get this last guy out in a timely manner, maybe we could see him back out for the 6th inning. 1-0, and therefore a strike. That was kind of the case on Friday. He was through 6 with a high pitch count. Thought that would be the end of the day, but they stuck him out there for 1 more inning. Quinn Ludvigsen, 0 for 1 today. Hits a ground ball to short. Shabry will cut it off again. Double clutch throw. It's still in time. A 1-2-3 inning. The Sodbuster defense rock solid in that 5th inning. 3 groundouts sends us to the bottom of the 5th with Hastings in front 4-2 at Duncan Field. Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
The Hastings Sodbusters will look for some more runs here in this bottom of the 5th inning, up by a score of 4-2. Aiden Johnson will try and rebound from a shaky 4th inning and is back out there for his 2nd inning of work for the OAHE Zap. As he finishes his warm-up tosses, it's Weston Johnston, Ryan Jarvis, and Graham Hilton coming up here in this bottom of the 5th inning.
And with Jacob, it's only throwing 10 pitches in that 5th. It's all likelihood there's no action behind him. Creighton, you're probably going to get the start there in the 6th.
That way you can only use the one reliever, hopefully for a quick 7th inning to get this game completed. Weston Johnston watches the breaking ball go by for strike 1. Johnston with one of the 4 Sodbuster hits. Hastings having 2 singles in the 3rd and the 4th inning. Johnston's was in the 3rd. Johnson v. Johnston here right now. The guy with the T at the plate, no T on the mounds. And no T Johnson has found the zone with 2 very good-looking breaking balls. Johnston sends it into right field, and it is over the head of Goldberg. He misread it, and Johnston will have a double. That one was right at Connor Goldberg as he hangs his head out there thinking that he had an easy catch. Instead, it's a leadoff 2-bagger for the Hastings designated hitter.
Since he has the T, can I call him Mr. T now, the way he slugged
You
that
can.
in? All right.
Mr. T, pity the fool who thinks that it's just going to be an easy line drive.
Mr. T's got himself a pair of hits, 2 for 2.
Oh, love it. Johnston with back-to-back games with multi-hits. He had 3 in the series opener on Tuesday, and Ryan Jarvis will try and get him home with nobody out. It's outside for ball 1. That double by Johnston, just the 2nd double of the year for the Hastings Sodbusters. The double was the last extra base hit that the Sodbusters acquired to start off the season. They had a triple and a home run before a double.
2 triples and a home run. That's crazy. That's and in this park, it's kind of a doubles park.
This is a doubles park, absolutely. Sodbusters doing it the hard way. Ryan Jarvis with the 2-0 pitch. Downstairs, 3-0.
And the weird thing is both doubles have been odd. One was probably a single advance on the throw, and this one probably should have been caught. So we really haven't had a double right to the gap. We're still looking for the first one. How about Ryan Jarvis?
Ryan Jarvis, the guy that has had 4 singles. 3-0 is downstairs, a 4-pitch walk to put first and second with 2 outs. And also earlier I had said that Ryan Jarvis was looking for his first RBI. He did have that on a sac fly in the 1st inning, and he will reach base on the free pass this time.
Love to just bury him right here, get some insurance, and kind of take the pressure off because you got one more game, get through this 7 innings here, and have an opportunity to go for a series sweep.
So Aiden Johnson on the mound has now faced the entire Sodbuster 9 hitters, and Graham Hilton squares to bunt and pulls back for ball 1. Hilton was the first batter that Johnson saw, and he walked him. Hilton today 0 for 1, his other at-bat a strikeout. Lefty on righty matchup. Hilton will take a strike this time at the bottom of the zone, according to Jason Seitz. One ball, 1 strike pitch with runners at first and second with nobody out. Sodbusters looking to extend their lead. The bunt is pushed down the third base line, but too far foul.
If that's fair, he may have himself a base hit because the third baseman was playing back to get the force play there. It would have been a really tough play for Aiden Johnson to get there.
I've got to believe as it's tough to get a bunt down, it's especially tough to get it down to the opposite side of you. So pushing it away from the side that you are a hitter of, one of the tougher tasks. 1-2, Johnson ahead of Hilton. He's still showing bunts and watches a curveball go right down the middle for strike 3.
Disappointing outcome for Graham. Hilton can't advance the runners, so we'll see if Loera and Hannaford can pick up his teammate and bring in some runs.
Interesting the breaking balls up at the top of the zone floating in are working today, but up at the higher division levels, those are what we call hanging breaking balls that'll get smoked 400 feet. But it's working for the Zap so far, so they will look to continue their strikeout success. And at bats is Christian Loera. Still first and second, but now with one out. Loera reached on a fielder's choice groundout in the 4th. Just misses downstairs. Lang, the catcher, thought that should have been a strike. And the count now 2-0. We're here in the bottom of the 5th of this 7-inning doubleheader contest. Johnson decides on the sign. This will be pitch number 39, but instead time called.
Casper's leading Nebraska 10-6, 7th inning of that contest. I'm not sure if that's it or not. They didn't play yesterday. They may be going to 7-inning doubleheader there as well.
Yeah, it looked like they might have been postponed, or not postponed, but delayed for a day. Because they're in action right now and scheduled to play another game this evening. Now 3 balls and no strikes to Christian Loera. Other action in the Independence League. It's Fremont and Spearfish in South Dakota tonight, as the Sasquatch and Moose split a doubleheader yesterday. That'll be their series finale. Spearfish leads it 2-1. Downstairs, a 4-pitch walk as the rain continues to sprinkle down at Duncan Field. Bases loaded of Sodbusters with only 1 out.
So couldn't get the sacrifice down, but the next guy follows it up with a walk, and so you're actually in a better position. You got the bases loaded, 1 out. See if Jet Hannaford can come through here.
So we've had a double and 2 walks in the inning, but still no runs home yet for the Sodbusters. That's also the 3rd walk for Aiden Johnson. Jet Hannaford, the 7-hole hitter, looking to break this game open. He'll watch it go by for ball 1 upstairs. We've got Johnston at 3rd, Jarvis at 2nd, and Loera at 1st. Normal defensive positions for the Zap with the bases loaded. Back up the middle, that's through into center field for a hit. Johnston will score easily. Here comes Jarvis around 3rd. He will score on the 2 RBI single from Jet Hannaford. A multi-hit game for the Sodbuster left fielder, and it's now a 6-2 Hastings lead.
Great job for Jet as he just took it right back up the middle, and the Sodbusters a little more breathing room, and they're not done yet.
Now the plate, center fielder number 10, Chase.
All of these 6 runs given up here this evening rather. 5 of them have been given up by the man on the mound, Aiden Johnson. Back-to-back outings for him where he has given up 5 or more runs. So now it's runners at the corners with 1 out. Chase Phillips takes ball 1 just a bit low, 1-0.
And his 42.0 ERA coming in is not going to get much better.
It's only headed upwards from there, unfortunately. Hannaford with a decent lead, draws a throw over at first, but he's back in safely. Hannaford part of a double steal back in the 4th inning, so the Zap wanting to keep a close eye on him. This was a 2-1 ball game, now 6-2. There goes Hannaford, but it's fouled off, and Printer knocks it down at the third base coaching box. So far for Hastings in this game now, they have stolen 3 bases. They were trying to get number 4 right there, but we'll have to do so maybe on this next pitch here. We'll see what the call is from Coach Printer. Chase Phillips with the 1-1 count. Runner on the move, popped in the air. That's on the infield. Having to race back is Hannaford, the first baseman, calling for it, and it drops. He'll recover it, and he will tag Hannaford out. Now the runner coming home, and he scores! Christian Loera on a pop-up to the infield. He sprints home, and he dives in ahead of the tag to get the Sodbusters another run. How about that?
Great base running, tremendous coaching, realizing there was confusion out there. Loera using his speed, and the Sodbusters literally stealing one there. And they're not done yet with a runner at first and 2 men out.
So Hannaford is forced out on the tag by the first baseman Quinn Ludvigsen. And Phillips will take over the spot at first on the fielder's choice. A fielder's choice pop-up. You don't get to say that too often here. But now back-to-back crooked number innings for the Sodbusters with 3 runs coming across. Runner at first with 2 outs. Jaden Shabry, the 9th place hitter, and the 7th Buster to come to the plate in the inning.
Tyler Welch now warming. You kind of wonder if he's going to come in and maybe Jacobit's day is done. Tyler Welch getting hot.
Popped in the air, shallow right field, going out the second baseman Ottersberg, and he does make the catch, colliding with Goldberg, the right fielder, but it's a second baseman making the play, and fortunately no friendly fire for the Zap fielders right there. Well, the Sodbusters will take another 3-run inning. They lead at 7-2, and we will go to the top of the 6th with the good guys up by 5. Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
5 complete at Duncan Field, and it is Creighton Jacobitz trying to go 6 innings here on a wet Thursday evening. Steve Stein's going to take us through the end of Game 1.
Tyler Welsh is ready, though. If Jacobitz gets into problem, the reason Creighton can go back out there, he threw a 10-pitch 5th inning and set down the top 3 batters in the order, as he'll face 4, 5, and 6 now with Goldberg, Farwell, and Lang. Hastings blowing this baby open with 3 runs in the 4th to grab the lead, and then 3 more in the 5th to get much-needed insurance. 3 runs on 2 hits, taking advantage. A couple of walks in the inning and a pop-up that was dropped, and the Sodbusters able to get a run on the board on that play as well with good aggressive base running, as we see Connor Goldberg take ball 1. He has walked and struck out his first 2 plate appearances against Creighton Jacobitz, who has been outstanding. Delivery is fouled away. Again, his only issue was himself. 2 walks and an error back in the 3rd inning. That's where OAHE scored. Line score in this one, Sodbusters 7 runs, 6 hits. They've committed an error. Zap 2 runs, no hits, and they've committed 2 errors as the pitch is swung on and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well out in front of that off-speeder from Creighton Jacobitz, and it can't be easy to get any kind of feel for the baseball as the rain continues to fall. Played in some pretty dry conditions earlier, but have had a drizzle here the past couple of innings. It was supposed to have stopped by 7 o'clock, but I don't think that's happened, and we've seen that happen here in central Nebraska over the week. Last night, living in Grand Island, they said the rain was going to stop at 6, and I don't think it stopped until 9. 2-2 pitch on the way. Right there, strike 3 called. Goldberg knew it as he heads to the dugout, and that is 5 straight retired for Creighton Jacobitz. 1 out, nobody on. 7-2 Sodbusters here in the 6th.
Well, Creighton set down the side in order on 3 groundouts in the 5th. Actually, his first inning where he didn't have a strikeout. So he gets back on the horse, the strikeout horse, if you will, with another one here in the 6th.
8 Ks, a lefty-lefty matchup now as he'll face Ty Farwell, and he struck out Farwell twice today. Takes high and tight. Ty Farwell up there trying to get it going. The Dickinson State Blue Hawks stands in. Coming into today was 3 for 10. Did have a multi-hit game against the Sodbusters in the series opener, won by Hastings. Curveball breaks over there. Farwell bailing out a little bit as he turned his back toward that one. Thought it was maybe going to plunk him, but it curved right over. An 11-4 victory for Hastings in the series opener. Then a rain day yesterday and playing a 7-inning twin bill today, and this one does not break, and it will be the third hit batsman of the day for Jacobitz to go along with 3 walks. And Farwell aboard for the first time.
It's not fun to strike out. It's not fun to not strike out the beer batter. It's really not fun to hit the beer batter. But Sodbuster fans have got to enjoy Farwell striking out the previous 2 times today.
Mason Lang has struck out twice, and he stands in with 1 on and 1 out. The Sodbusters up by 5 here in the top of the 6th. And the pitch swung on and grounded on the first base side, but just foul, fielded cleanly by Jarvis, but it's 0-1 on Mason Lang. Jarvis has gone all the way at first. Vega at second. Those 2 guys kind of your leaders, the returning starters for this Sodbuster team, if you will. Loera, the shortstop, and Shabry, the recent high school grad, looking really good at third base. Got to get a college for him. Got to figure out where he's going to go. Hopefully he'll make that decision, as it's going to be June before we know it. Lefty-lefty matchup as the pitch is bounced to the right side. This one will stay fair, and Jarvis just going to run down the line, and now he will go back and touch the bag as you saw Lang try to stop in his steps to maybe allow the base runner to try to think about going to third. Good decision for Jarvis. Didn't try to do too much. Runner in scoring position, 2 outs now for Cole Ottersberg.
Yeah, that's a designed play. If a guy hits a ball like that, you're told to maybe just try and get in a run down, because as a batter, you can run back all the way to home plate if you really want to. But credit Jarvis for knowing the situation there.
And Ottersberg, 0 for 2 in the day as he is struck out and popped up. Takes the pitch outside for ball 1. As OAHE, 2 unearned runs in the 3rd. That is it. We're now at the top of the 6th. Sodbusters on top 7-2. More right-handed action for Hastings. So one way or the other, it could be the end for Jacobitz. We'll see. Pitch swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike as the pitch count is mounting a bit. Guy went over 100 pitches in the first outing of the year. He's hit 100 pitches here. In the Independence League, you can't start an inning after 110. 1-1 delivery. Bouncing ball left side. This is going to be fielded by Loera. Long throw in time. Sodbuster defense continues to shine. We are through 5.5. The Sodbusters continue to lead it. No runs and no hits. 1 man left, and it's Hastings 7 and OAHE 2. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back, or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
At the bottom of the 6th inning, Sodbusters looking for more as they lead it 7-2. Have come back from a 2-1 deficit with 3-run innings in the 4th and the 5th. It's just a 7-inning game, so it's getting late, and we see the 4th pitcher coming out there for OAHE. It is Hudson Ivey out of Upper Iowa Junior College. Guy who is making his 2nd appearance. No record, a 3.5 ERA for the summer. He allowed a run, 2 hits, struck out 3, and walked 1 against Caspers. They lost 2 of 3 there. Sodbusters trying to win the series here and then go for the sweep of the 3-game series in the second game of the doubleheader, and they'll have the top of the order looking for more. As interesting decision for the head coach, Josh Printer. After 6 innings of play, Creighton Jacobitz now at 102. You could send him out there for the 7th. There is action behind him. We've seen at least 2 different relievers get up, and there is somebody over there playing catch. This may be a 3rd different reliever. I don't think that's Welsh again. So we've seen a variety of guys at least ready to come in for Jacobitz, who just will not give up. The helm there, he just continues to come out and put zeros on the board and give his team a chance to win.
Now the rain's coming down even heavier now, and looking at the radar, these cells around the area are very, very small, but some of them with some yellow and red spots in it. I think we're hopefully passing through a yellow spot that should be done hopefully any minute now to have some dry conditions here. I can't imagine this is any fun for anybody on the field right now, and we're here all nice and dry.
Or in the stands, and we appreciate the hardy guys. There's a ground ball to the third baseman, and Vega's had a tough day. Drew Vega grounds out. Fine play by the third baseman, Ty Farwell, to begin the top of the 6th. And 0 for 4 with a run scored for Drew Vega. That'll bring to the plate Luke Causey. Causey is 1 for 3, had an infield single in the 3rd, has struck out and lined out. Like I say, Josh Printer, get some of those challenging managing questions in your head. I mean, you've got a 7-2 lead, 7 runs, 6 hits for Hastings, 2 runs, no hits for OAHE. So there's a lot of different considerations going through the mind of Josh Printer. Number one, you want to win the game. You want to do what's best for your pitcher as well. And you're comfortably in front, so we'll have to see how Hastings plays it. As Luke Causey behind in the count. No balls and a strike, and takes this pitch for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. So another tough day for the right-hander. Aiden Johnson goes 2 innings, allows 6 runs, 4 of them earned. So he's allowed 11 runs in his first 2 outings for OAHE. And OAHE's, they look top to bottom like a much better pitching staff than they had last year when they struggled through a 15-37 season. 2-1 delivery on the way, and the pitch right across for strike 2, 2-2. But it's tough to pitch in Pierre. They have a smaller park. But opening the season in Casper, they very easily could have won 2 of 3. They out-hit Casper 4-2 in that second game, but lost 2-1. 2-2 delivery, and the pitch fouled away. Remains 2 balls and 2 strikes on Luke Causey. And Casper, game 3 of that series, they had the 1 6-run inning, with most of that coming against Aiden Johnson. Other than that, they scored only 1 run. Pitch inside, and it gets a piece of Luke Causey. So Causey aboard for the second time. He reaches on a hit by pitch, and it'll be Weston Johnston. Mr. T's had himself a day. 2 for 2, double run score.
And Ivy on the mound, too, another one of the guys that did not pitch in the spring for the Upper Iowa Peacocks, previously at Allen County Community College. Guy that's just looking to get his arm loose in the summer and maybe play some fall ball before next spring.
That is one of the fun mascots that we have heard, the Peacocks. Pitch taken outside for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes on Weston Johnston, who lined a double over the right fielder's head his last time up. He's also got a single to his credit. Weston Johnston DHing in the first game, scheduled to go behind the plate in game number 2, so he will have his bat in the lineup again in the second game of this twin bill as the pitch is lined down the right field line but foul. There'll be 4 new position players in game number 2, or 4 different players in the batting order, if you will. We'll give you that game 2 lineup, and one more reason to like Josh Printer and his organizational skills as the manager of the Hastings Sodbusters. He had his first and second game lineups ready to go when we got here today. Love that. So we can semi-plan ahead, and that way he doesn't have the pressure between games to do that. Pitch inside, and that hits Weston Johnston. So Causey and Johnston both plunked, first and second, 1 out now, and Ryan Jarvis got to keep that string of 1 hit per ball game. Perfect opportunity here, and likely picks up his second run batted in when he lines this one into right field. Ryan Jarvis, Hastings Sodbusters second-year player. Really good first year for the Hastings Sodbusters, hit .296. Led the team with 3 triples a year ago. Pitch inside for a ball, 1 ball, and no strikes on Ryan Jarvis. Was the top hitting performer on the Saginaw Valley State team in the spring that went 30-22. Tentative plan for him to be here till June 26th and take the rest of the summer off after a busy spring. Pops this one in the air, short left field, nothing easy the way the weather is now. And a dive and a catch made. Good job for Nick Golden, who started out, came in, and stayed with it to make the catch on Ryan Jarvis, who's 0 for 2 in the ball game, and that'll bring to the plate Graham Hilton.
Like you said, Steve, nothing easy now, especially with the outfield grass. Probably getting a little bit soggy by this time now. And nice fine play out there by Golden.
Here's Graham Hilton, 0 for 2 in the game. Struck out twice. He's also walked. See what he can get done with 2 outs, and Sodbusters up 7-2. Pitch taken high and outside for a ball, 1 ball, and no strikes on Graham Hilton. Spring in which he hit .289 and knocked in 29 while scoring 28 times. Takes the pitch on the outside corner for a strike, 1 ball, and 1 strike on Graham Hilton. 2 for 9 in the Spearfish Series, a hit in each of the 2 games played. Looking for his first hit in this contest, his 3rd of the year in the 5 played for the Hastings Sodbusters. And they've won them all, trying to go to 5-0, a franchise best start. Hastings' most wins in a season coming last year when they went 32-20. Big swing, misses, and that bat is clear out of play into the stands. It got by the safety netting. Camera person down there could have got him, and glad there wasn't anybody sitting in those seats. Man, oh man, did that take a fly.
Bleachers completely empty down there besides the camera woman, and it's happening now. Are they walking off the field, or are we going to have to, it looks like they're going to have to delay the game here.
Unfortunate, so.
Maybe after that, maybe for the safety of everybody. I don't know. There might be some pushback here. The umpires are walking off the field. Home plate umpire Jason Seitz is putting his arms out saying, like, well, there's nothing much we can do. Scott Galusha's marching onto the field.
Graham Hilton says he wants to swing. OAHE say they want to play because, by golly, the OAHE's got they don't want to have a delay. And if
we're so close to being done.
Yes, if you could just finish this first game, if you've got to have a delay, you can find a way to get 4 more outs here. The Sodbusters trying to finish out the top of the 7th. We're 2 outs here in the bottom of the, or at the top of the 6th. Or bottom of the 6th, I should say, trying to finish this off. And right now, you've got Scott Galusha over there. I think he's talking about the fact that he's got his radar people on the phone and that it's just about done. Please, let's not stop.
The National Weather Service hates to see Scott coming. I can tell you that much. They have, he's probably on their speed dial. They've got him in the top of the list in their contacts. But, I mean, yeah, like I just mentioned, looking at the radar, that the cells are not big whatsoever. And the fact, too, that looks like the rain is holding up or letting up just a little bit, and we're in the bottom of the 6th with 2 outs. At least finish this at bat here, finish this out, and maybe delay the top of the 7th.
Scott Galusha's actually called, well, the umpire called Jamie Habiger over, and then Scott called Josh Printer out. So all the parties involved are going to sort this out, and maybe while they're talking, the rain will stop. That would be the best thing that could happen. And you just feel like heck for Scott Galusha. I mean, you're off to a 4-0 start, best start in franchise history, and the weather has just been awful.
Maybe we should just have awful weather the whole season. Maybe it's a sign.
But you need to get a few people in the stands because, you know, it is still it's a for-profit organization, and you got to get some folks come out here. And it's a fun brand of baseball, and you love the hardy fans who have come today and who have been here so far. And right now it looks like they are going to continue to play, and credit to Jason Seitz and Daniel Roth to continue the game. And let's get the bat firmly in the hand of Graham Hilton here as he had that bat go out of play, just losing track of the wet bat. And hopefully that won't be an issue again. And you don't want to say strike out or make an out, but you kind of like to see these next 4 outs in quick fashion and get this first game done. So then if there is a delay, it's a natural delay. And you can wait for better weather for game number 2. But, man, you hate to have a delay with 2 outs bottom of the 6th in a 7-inning game. And I get it. I mean, I don't think lightning is an issue. It's just the fact that, okay, I don't want to see the bat go into the stands. And if this would have been a full house, it wouldn't be raining. But, yeah, that was a danger. And you've got the protective screens almost all the way down the line. For that to get by the screen and still hit in the stands was an amazing feat of that was a weird occurrence with Graham Hilton tossing that one into the stands over on the first base side. Okay, we're back to 2-2. Hilton's got his hands dry. Runners go. The pitch is taken inside. So after all of that, a double steal. Causey takes third. Johnston takes second. It's now 3-2 on Hilton. Big RBI chance here for Hastings in a 7-2 game. So the second double steal of the day for the Sodbusters. Pitch inside, and it gets by, untouched, and coming home to score. The double steal will pay dividends as Causey scores. Johnston ends up at third. It's a walk to Hilton. We continue at 8-2. The Sodbusters on top with Christian Loera coming up.
That's fortunate for Hastings right there. That one was shoe top hunting of Graham Hilton. I thought it might have grazed him on the shoe, and that would have been just a dead ball hit by pitch. Instead, it leads to a run, and maybe that's what head coach Habiger wants to make sure as well.
Yep, the fact is if it did hit him, then the bases would be loaded and no run scores, and they are going to have Jason Seitz go ahead and talk to Daniel Roth. The unfortunate thing is this delays things a little bit more as the Sodbusters have your starting pitchers still determine whether he's going to come back, Creighton Jacobitz. Now he's had to wait in the dugout a long time. There's no action in the Sodbuster bullpen right now. And it looks like it's going to stay as called with runners the corners, a run home. The Sodbusters getting a run without the benefit of a hit. They've now out-hit OAHE 6-0. They lead the game 8-2 in the bottom half of the sixth inning with Loera trying to come through. He's 0 for 2 with 2 runs scored each of the last 2 innings in the fourth and the fifth. It's all the vast majority of the offense coming late. 3 in the fourth, 3 in the fifth, and now 1 here in the sixth, and strike 1 the call to Christian Loera. Loera looked down to Josh Printer. And don't discount the fact they could send the runner from first right here. Does not go. Curveball just misses the inside corner. The count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike on Loera. So Hudson Ivey on in relief, the 4th pitcher for OAHE. The Sodbusters have only had to use 1 in the vast majority of this games this year. Sodbusters have had the better of the pitching numbers as they've used fewer pitchers most days than their opponents. The pitch misses for ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. Continue to put pressure on the opponents. The Sodbusters will have the weekend off after the 2 games here. Get ready to go for a Monday matchup with their rival, the Fremont Moo. Pitch just misses outside. Didn't hit his spot, so didn't get the call as looked to be over the plate, but he was set on the inside corner and it broke over the outside. And when he moved his glove that far, he probably wasn't going to get the call. 3-1 pitch on the way. And spikes that one. That's through the legs of the catcher, but it comes right back to him, and he mishandles. It will be a wild pitch, and scoring will be Johnston. The Sodbusters will have runners at first and second on the back-to-back walks, and now it will be Jet Hannaford coming up with the Sodbusters on top 9-2.
Yeah, if Lang able to make a clean reception after that bounce back there, just bobbled it right into his glove, might have had a play on the runner Johnston.
So Hastings with the 7-run lead now at the bottom of the sixth, and you hate to wish for the end of the inning, but you almost wish for the end of the inning so the Sodbusters can get to the 7th and get this done as the rain continues to fall. The pitch is taken for a strike. Jet Hannaford with a multi-hit game, 2 for 3. 2 runs batted in and a run scored for Jet. Bounces this one foul. Josh Printer's got that one on 2 hops. Tosses it over to the dugout for the Hastings Sodbusters. Quickly 2 strikes on Jet Hannaford. It lives up to his namesake. A fast guy from Mountain Home, Arkansas. The hometown and the home of Arkansas State Mountain Home. Runner goes from second. Line drive back up the middle. Base hit. Jet's got himself a 3-hit game. And Hilton was off with the pitch. He'll score. Loera first to third, and the Sodbusters really putting this baby on ice with back-to-back-to-back 3-run innings. They now lead it 10-2.
Awesome moment for Jet Hannaford. 3 consecutive singles after striking out in the second inning. 2 runs driven in tonight. Okay, guys, you've got 10. Save some offense for the second game.
Unless you're playing with the 10-run rule today, I'm kind of the same way. But Chase Phillips 1 for 3. He would like to continue his day and look for another multi-hit game. Takes this pitch outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Involved in that wacky little play where he popped it up. OAHE couldn't make a play. They ended up getting a fielder's choice out, but the Sodbusters scored another run on the play. Here's the pitch. Bouncing ball foul. 1 ball and 1 strike on Chase Phillips, as he had an RBI single and a run scored back in the 4th for the Hastings Sodbusters. With that fielder's choice pop-up, he actually was given a second run batted in, so he's got 2 RBI on the day for the Hastings Sodbusters. The Aurora product takes inside for ball 2. Another weapon, guy who can play infield, he can play outfield. He's looked very effective from a pitching standpoint. 3 ways he can help this Sodbuster team, and he's swung it well. Runner goes from first. The throw down to second base is in time. They get the out on the stolen base there. Jet Hannaford gunned down, but the Sodbusters do get 3 runs on the board, and they lead it by a score of 10-2 as we head to the 7th. Sodbusters trying to wrap it up when we come back on Sodbuster Baseball.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Out of the 7th inning, bonus baseball here because we have Scott Galusha in the booth with the Sodbusters on top 10-2. A very wet Scott Galusha politicking for this game to continue here to try to finish the first before we maybe have a weather delay.
Well, it was raining pretty hard, and I got on the phone with Ryan again at the National Weather Service, who has just been wonderful. Him and his staff has just done great. And when I came out, they were starting to walk off, and he just told me, hey, it's diminishing. It'll be out of here by 8 o'clock. You'll be good tonight. And so I said to Jamie, and I said, if you guys think you're good, let's go. Mm-hmm. And Jamie said, we're good. Let's go. So it was nice. It was going to be a bummer to have a break this late in that game. And so it's nice to get in here, and hopefully Nate Fisher can get that leadoff guy for us so we can get in, get out, get a little break, and regroup and get ready for game 2.
Really good start. And you wanted to say hi to fans?
Yeah, that's right.
This is why you got on, remember?
That's right. The whole reason why I
came
up
here. Other than you just stay, you can stay here because it's warm, too.
I know. Right. Well, I'm soaked now. I'm going to have to change. But my grandson, Cal, was watching, and about an hour ago, my daughter-in-law, Cassandra, said, did we miss it? And I said, no, I couldn't get up there. So I said, I'm going up there, and we're going to say hi to Cal. So, Cal, I know you're watching up there, buddy, and I love you, and I'm glad you're watching. And, Steve, I got a Snapchat from him yesterday, and he was on, or the day before, and he was on the couch going, go, Busters, go, Busters, go, Busters. So, that just makes your heart melt. So, Cal, I know I got more family than just him watching, but I promised you I was going to say hi to Cal. So, Cal, I love you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon, buddy.
All right, very good. Scott Galusha, we are ready to go for the 7th inning of this one, and the Sodbusters bring in a reliever. The day is done for Creighton Jacob. It's another tremendous day as we see Nate Fisher come out to try to finish it off, and he is in action here, the Miami, Oklahoma guy out of Northeastern Junior College. He's from Bixby, Oklahoma, brings in the first pitch for a strike, and this one is fouled away as Nick Golden now down to the count, no balls and 2 strikes. As Scott going to hang out with us, see if we can finish off this first game victory and improve to 5-0.
That sounds good, doesn't it?
Yep, that would be really cool. Yep. And a great chance to bring in Fisher in a semi-non-pressure situation. A guy who's battled with the hit batsman. 4 hit batsmen in his first 2 appearances. He's 1-0 with a 5.4 ERA for Hastings.
Yeah, he comes literally from about third base, and there we go again.
And that's it that we've talked about it. The sidearm delivery, they're so prone to the hit batsman. Usually, it's the right-handed batter.
That's
he hit a left-handed hitter there.
This time it was a lefty, but I'm always curious on how guys decide that they're going to try this.
Yeah.
Because this is such a, all those sidearm guys are unique, but this is even more unique than most. He's way on the third base side. He steps to the third base side, falls to the third base side, and here it comes. But
pitch is lined foul as Emiliano Montijo up there. He was 0 for 2 against Creighton Jacobitz. And how about the job for Creighton Jacobitz, working his way through 6 innings, 2 unearned runs, and really the only enemy himself, 2 walks and an error.
Yeah.
Plated the runs back in the third. Other than that, really good. Did have 3 walks and 3 hit batsmen, but
sounds pretty familiar, doesn't it? 'Cause
Yep.
I think that's what he did the other night.
Exactly.
So.
Gets 7 strikeouts today to remedy some of that. 0-1 pitch on the way. Outside for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike on Montijo.
Super happy for Creighton. He's put in some work in the weight room. You probably notice he's quite a bit bigger. He's solid, and for him to go back-to-back starts like that and give us a chance to win, really competing well for us, that really helps the pitching staff.
Pitch misses for ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. Yep, Creighton Jacobitz. And you wondered, okay, how's he going to do between starts? Must have done the things he needed to do to get ready for his second start. This pitch misses inside for ball 3.
Well, I think we talked about that last time I was on, and I was quick to congratulate him, but the second that conversation was over, it was, hey, you got to put the same kind of effort in between starts. And he clearly did that.
3-1 pitch just misses for ball 4. So a hit batsman and a walk. Fisher trying to get himself a dry baseball, and it's going to be back to the top of the order as Phillips, Frazier, and Ludvigsen trying to get it down against Fisher. And again, Sodbusters have had these opportunities early in the year. You've been well in front, and no panic here as you've still got a chance for Fisher to work it out. There's been previous seasons, and there'll be times later in the year where you're going to have get a high leverage guy in there.
There we go.
Bouncing ball, it's knocked down by Jarvis. He'll throw to second to get the out. How about Ryan Jarvis in the rain to dive? The only play he has a chance to get is at second base. 3-6 on the putout. Phillips aboard on the fielder's choice. Runners at the corners. 1 out. The Sodbusters still on top, 10-2, and now 2 outs away from a special performance.
Another plus defensive play. I know we've got a few errors on the year, but we've made a lot of the plays. That was just a dumb throw by Creighton. He just aimed it and threw it down the bullpen, which is horrible at Duncan Field. But great job with the first pitch out there.
And this one's going to be caught. A run is going to come in and score. It's a sacrifice fly to center field. Ladies and gentlemen, Gavin Frazier becomes the first player for OAHE to hit a ball into the outfield today. It's a sacrifice fly. That will score Golden. The Sodbusters lead it 10-3. It's another crazy thing about this game that Jacobitz was so dominant, and he just dialed up strikeouts or groundouts, and that was the first ball played by an outfielder in the air today. And now 2 outs in the inning. 10-3 the score. The Sodbusters looking to wrap up the win.
Steve, you and I have, I'm sure there's duos that have seen more baseball than you and I, but we've been around a long time, and the old adage still stays true. You just never know when you're going to see something you haven't seen before. And back-to-back outings like this from Creighton, no balls to the outfield until the last inning. It's just crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And the other night we won a game and had 55 base runners and 3 hits. But it's
4. I went 4.
I was thinking, I remember seeing a 3 up there. But it's such a cool game, and you just never know. You just never know when you're going to see something neat, and I'm so proud of these kids because they've just come out and they all hang out together already, which is amazing, and they're just they just compete. I call them a bunch of dirt bags. It's a nice comment, but there we go.
Hard hit ball, center field. Chase Phillips has got it. And ladies and gentlemen, it's a combined no-hitter. I believe the second in Sodbuster franchise history. Creighton Jacobitz.
Yes.
And Nate Fisher combining on the 7-inning no-hitter.
Yeah, that's the first one was Shay Shanneman.
Yep.
And I can't remember who pitched the 9th, and that was out in Gehring a few years back, and so that was neat. But how about Jacobitz? That's I think he's got 13 innings now and no hits.
13 innings, no hits, and with his 7 strikeouts today, Creighton Jacobitz, his first game, was able to throw that great contest, struck out 9. He has walked 6 and hit 6 in the 2 games combined. But if I'd have come out and told you he could get 13 innings the first 2 outings, you'd probably be happy with that, right? Not just 13 innings, but 13 no-hit innings.
I do believe you and I had the conversation where I was worried about our starting pitching, and I said, hey, we're going to turn to Creighton because he's the most experienced guy we have. He understands it, and I just said, hey, we got to get some innings from you. And, man, that kid has done more than we could even have hoped for, and just really happy for him. So
pretty fun outing. And
yes.
Scott, take a break, get dry. We'll get Ryan back in. We'll wrap up game number 1 and get set to go for game 2. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, we're good. You keep doing what we're doing. I don't know. I kind of want to change, but in the same sense, I'm a little superstitious.
5-0, baby.
So we'll see what happens.
Same underwear since game 1?
Yeah, absolutely. Same socks, same underwear, same shorts.
It has been laundered.
Yep,
just so you know.
Exactly. Right. I'm still hygiene efficient, so everything's been washed. But yeah, just a little superstitious. I love the game, and if you think that's why we're winning, then we are. And hats off to those kids playing good baseball.
Hank, the comfort dog, here every game, 5-0 with Hank here.
He's pretty comfortable. He walks, he knows where to go, and he knows what to do. So everything's going pretty well now. All we need a little bit of sun, and I'd like to get a few more people out here to watch us play, but the weather hasn't helped us much. But we'll get it taken care of.
Sodbusters win this one 10-3, and we will
30 minutes.
Okay, 30 minutes. All right. We'll wrap up our first broadcast right after this. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now. There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
As we bring you Sodbuster Baseball, as the Sodbusters win this one 10-3, 10 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for Hastings, 3 runs, no hits for OAHE, and 2 errors, an unusual game, and the fact that OAHE gets 3 runs on no hits. Back in the third, walk, throwing error to plate the 2 runs, and then in the 7th inning, hit batsman, walk, fielder's choice grounder, sacrifice fly, to get the run home. The fly out to center by Gavin Frazier scored the run. Quinn Ludvigsen lined out to center field. Those were the only 2 balls of the game hit to the outfield by OAHE. And Ryan Valenta, just another tremendous pitching performance, beginning with Creighton Jacobitz as he comes in and throws 6 more hitless innings for the Hastings Sodbusters.
I think that the big mark there is, they're hitless innings, and that's even more impressive than runless innings. You hear guys all the time, they haven't allowed a run in this many innings. Hits come left and right. To me, that's more impressive, hitless innings than runless innings. Jacobitz knows this mound well and able to quiet the opponents very easily tonight. Offense got it going late, kind of sluggish through the first 3 innings, but found their marks later. Timely hitting, piecing it together, guys getting extra base hits, the one double in the game, and how about another multi-hit performance? Jet Hannaford, tip your cap to him today. 3 hits, a couple of RBIs with him. Chase Phillips also with a run driven in on a single. Weston Johnson picking up the team's just second double of the season, also had a multi-hit game. Offense has yet to have really a quiet day at the ballpark, with the exception of that one wacky win against Spearfish in the week. And like you mentioned, OAHE's turn to barely put the ball in the outfield and lose. Hastings is able to put the ball pretty much anywhere tonight and take advantage of their pitchers.
1 in the first, then took the lead for good in the 4th with 3, tack on 3 in the 5th and 6th, and they win it going away by a score of 10-3. As they've won the series, they'll try for the series sweep. Sodbusters just having to use the 2 pitchers, and it was good to see. Fisher battle through it. Again, he hit another one. He walked one, but was able to work his way around that, allowed the 1 run on no hits. And you like that chance when you're up by 8 runs to have him work his way through it. So he does come in and work the 7th inning. Meanwhile, for OAHE, of course, no offense. They ended up throwing 4 pitchers in the game and ended up having the loss go to Aiden Johnson, who has had a couple of tough outings, allows 6 runs on 5 hits, walking 3 and striking out 1 for the Hastings Sodbusters. Kind of glad that OAHE did the pitching lineup they did, as their number 1 guy was pretty good. Easton Pratt worked those first 2 innings, and again, they were trying to use a variety of pitchers, and you're kind of saying thankfully, because it may have been a different kind of contest if Pratt would have been in there.
Yeah, right after he came out, the Sodbusters took advantage of that. You were thinking, coaches do it for a reason. They've got pitching plans for the guys down the line. You wonder, well, why on earth would you not keep him in? 38 pitches, he's got a couple of innings under his belt. Want to get you guys as many guys in as you can. The coaching staff understands what they're doing, so a little bit of a storyline that we may not understand, and the fans, you may not understand at home, but that was the reason why. But Sodbusters took advantage of that and had an excellent pitching performance of their own by Creighton Jacobitz. And Scott, as we were exiting out, I was like, hey, it's a no-hitter. He's like, I don't care about that stuff, but it's super neat. 7 innings, not even just a little bloop base hits. We've seen that plenty of times at Duncan Field throughout our seasons here, so a pretty impressive feat in Game 1.
Very, very cool. We're going to end our first stream. We'll have a new stream to begin Game 2, so just tune in for that when we get it up and running. And included in that will be a Sodbuster Spotlight with Luke Causey. But game number 1 goes to the Sodbusters. Hastings wins it by a score of 10-3. And for Mason Hendricks, for Ryan Valenta, I'm Steve Stein, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Catch the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Get the ultimate fan experience at a Hastings Sodbuster game this summer. Enjoy high-level collegiate summer woodbat baseball at the beautiful and historic Duncan Field in Hastings. Baseball and a whole lot more. Affordable family fun. That's what the Sodbusters and the Independence League are all about. Sodbuster Baseball. It's your team.
Catch the